I don't know. It's been 6 sessions. I should probably know how to pronounce it, but they don't have a pronunciation guide. I don't know how to say it. But we're going to be playing Old School Essentials. This series of games that we've been doing has been kind of an experiment with the Dolmenwood campaign that we've been running for a while, where we've got a few of the main cast characters here, but they also have some hirelings that have joined us. So we've had some people from the community kind of filling in roles and picking up, and we've just been playing some dungeon crawly fun with Castle Xyntillan, which is basically, if you're unfamiliar with it, it's big funhouse mega dungeon. It's definitely very inspired by things like Teagle Manor and Castle Amber. So that is what we've been doing. It has been our analog for Horror Blight Keep in Dolmenwood. So even though it's not officially a thing that exists in Dolmenwood, we've used it as the seat of what was once the Cold Prince's domain, and we've learned that there was a noble family that took up residence in the Cold Prince's home and were sort of the stewards of it for many centuries, but things have gone terribly wrong for them, and the castle is sort of an asylum of undead weirdness. So that is what we've been doing. Hey, Dave. Looks like Dave is redeeming you all a reroll. So you got one reroll to start things off. Thank you, Dave. And I know you're equal opportunity. I know you're going to get me one too. Maybe. Maybe not if I'm asking for it. Cool. So if this is your first time joining us, we'd invite you to come hang out with us in our Discord server. When we have things like this that pop up where we're looking for people to play, that's kind of where we post up our signups for such things. So please jump in there and check it out. We've got an LFG channel. I saw one of our people threw up a thing for a 5e Planescape Turn of Fortune's Wheel campaign to join, so you could check that out. I guess speaking of that, I have 3 campaign finishes I'm doing in 8 days. So all of my campaigns are coming to an end right now. And so we've got, Monday, we're going to be doing the finale to Planescape Turn of Fortune's Wheel. So that should be a lot of fun. So you can come by on Monday at 7 p.m. We're going to start and come see how that all finishes up for us. All right, well, I think we will get started here. I'm just going to give a little synopsis of like what's been going on most recently in this campaign, then we'll go around and do some character introductions and things like that. So our adventure tonight is going to begin at Fort Vulgar on the evening of the 20th of Orb Thrime. Sorry, I've got... Discord is messing with me tonight a bit. Let's put that over there. Okay, there we go. Yes, the adventure is going to begin at Fort Vulgar. It is autumn, and tonight our adventure is going to begin during the evening, and it is a full moon out. And so you're going to... You probably noticed our adventure, I think, is going to start at the tap room of Chook's Knob, which is the tavern inn that you all have been staying at. It is situated right on the harbor of Fort Vulgar, which sits on the northern side of Lake Longmere. And there's angst. There's a lot of angst in the air. The animals are restless. You can hear the braying of donkeys and neighing of horses coming from the stables. Just in general, it's like a little bit more busy at Chook's Knob. And there's a number of reasons. It's certainly not just because it's a full moon tonight. The dock workers here at Fort Vulgar have been more or less unemployed for a bit because the monster after which the inn is named after, Big Chook, has been stirring in the lake, and has, not that the characters here know anything about that, but that monster has got them all kind of worried and cautious folk would not dream of taking a boat out there onto the lake. So a lot of their commerce and their generativity has been stalled out because they're just kind of waiting out the big sea monster in hopes that it'll go back into its slumber. This creature, Big Chook, is very similar, I guess, in some ways to like the Loch Ness monster of legend in our world. He's got, or it, I guess, it has those that are fascinated by it. Such individuals are called chookers, and they're the people that are fascinated with the beast and fascinated with its legend and fascinated with the idea of maybe making contact with it. In the previous session, our characters actually met such an individual. I believe his name was Samuel. He was like a kind of a hunchbacked old man, dusty old clothes that were a little bit out of fashion and antiquated. And he was here in the tavern, and he claimed that he had been swallowed alive by Big Chook. And that in doing so, he had recovered treasure. I believe it was a golden key. Correct me if that's not what it was. I don't remember exactly, but I believe it was a golden key that he had found, and he was kind of showing it off a little bit. You all had examined it and kind of assessed its authenticity, and I don't remember the motivation exactly, but I think you convinced him to go along with you in hopes of maybe getting access to the key or being able to grab it from you or whatever. But he did tag along with you, and there are a lot of terrible things that happened in the previous session. We lost Kezzy the Hunter, who had traveled with the party for quite some time. She was kind of known for her independent thought, her stern, no-nonsense demeanor. She was like your true professional hireling. Like she would tell you like your idea was stupid, but then she would like go along with it. She'd be like, okay, that's what you're paying me to do. That's fine. And then you also had Adrian's character, Sir Henrik, also perished. And all of this was because you had gone to the castle. You've been basically hiring dock workers to like help haul these big casks of what you imagine is very, very valuable vintage wine out of Castle Xyntillan, but it's very hard and arduous work. And so you've been hiring these dock workers to be doing this work while you explored other areas of the castle. And this particular time, you found a library that had a cursed book, and it manifested a number of like Grim Reaper type entities that claimed their share of souls in the last one. But I think at the tail end of the adventure, you came into the presence of a vampire lord who suggested to you that the Malival family, who I think at this point you have come to know that the Malival family is an old noble house that has basically been like kind of expunged from the history books by Brackenwold. You've never heard of it, certainly, but it would seem that they were the stewards or the caretakers of the castle after it had been wrested away from the Cold Prince. And it would seem that the Malavals, even if it is believed that they had like fallen into the history books of having died out, it seems like there's a living presence of a lot of Malavals that seem to be living at the castle. And the vampire lord told you that your activities at the castle had been noticed, and the family is not very happy with you. But he told you that he sits on a council that sort of coordinates activities for the Malavals, and that he could smooth things over with the others if you could get that key that Samuel had found. I don't know how much we went into detail with this, but Samuel was his servant. And so I think that's kind of where we ended, was with this little interaction between them. So anyway, that's everything that has happened last time. I think we'll get some character introductions and we'll figure out what is happening now. Several days. It's probably been like a week or so later after those events. You've been resting and recuperating, and those of you that weren't on the last adventure are now, Nick, your character would have just been hired by the group. Friar Fitzpatrick, whatever you were doing, you could tell us maybe a little bit about what you've been doing in Fort Vulgar these past few days. So why don't we start things off? I'm gonna pick on Winston first. We'll go Winston, Moreen, Issac, Adrian, and then Nick. And we've got some things happening here. I say, Dawson, thank you for the cheer, and Mal, thank you for the gifted sub. That's great. Thank you. Sorry, Winston.
Yeah, no, awesome stuff. Prudo going crazy in the chat. So hey, so I'm Winston. I'm playing Silver Upon His Brow. I am a Dolmenwood elf. I go by Silver for short. This is an epithet name. I actually have forgot my real name at this point in time. It's been so long. But regardless, though, I play Silver, and I'm an elf from Dolmenwood. The general concept here is that I was originally just exploring, kind of escaping the ravages of the Naglord from the realm of Fairy, my home world, or home plane, or existence, whatever. And but I wanted to go on an adventure. I wanted to write an epic poem because I'm kind of like I was in a rut for the past like 30, 40 years, of just having not really gotten out of the place, just been drinking and just doing nothing. And so I've written the first chapter, Winter's Daughter, and went back to my hometown, home world, to kind of distract a mad prince, an elf prince. I have come back, though, because I want to help the party to stop the Naglord. And so I suggested originally going to the castle because I was hoping we could find some powerful relics from the Cold Prince. And so that's where I'm at. Unfortunately, I am an elf, and I have caused misery for the party recently, feeling a little guilty about it. The deaths that Alex talked about were almost explicitly directly connected to actions that I took last game. So hopefully I can make up for it and not get anyone killed today.
Are you still wielding the sword that makes you seem drunk to everyone?
Yes, and I am still wielding the sword of it's Alfheim, and its curse is that I appear drunk all the time. I also have been cursed by eating a mushroom that made my skin turn purple. So I look haggard, I'm slurring. I have this gigantic, like, Final Fantasy style big old sword that I'm just hanging around, and I'm also missing several teeth. I've been hamstrung. I've got a nasty face scar. I've been almost killed like 5 times in this game. So, but, yeah.
Awesome. Let's go next to Moreen.
Hi, I'm Moreen, and I am playing Lillibeth. She's my character. Lillibeth is one of the characters who came from elsewhere to Dolmenwood with the intent of probably escaping into the forest. She's a hunter. She could take care of herself there, but unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, her first series of adventures involved chasing after a cat, getting subsequently half eaten potentially by a slime creature, and getting the first of what ends up being a set of prodigious scars, one which has disfigured my face. And so now I wear a half mask along with the hood just to keep from scaring people or getting Topsy to tease me too much about my face. I really care about the party. I really want us to do well here. I figured that this is going to be our space and we're going to go ahead and have a good life here. And I am living now in constant irritation and anxiety because everything we do seems to end us up in some sort of tragic mess. And as a hunter, for some reason, I've just lost most of my facility with my bow, but I do pretty well with the spear. That's me.
Awesome. Let's go to Friar Fitzpatrick.
Hello. Hi, I'm Isaac. I'm playing Friar Fitzpatrick. Friar Fitzpatrick was one of the original members of the group. He came from nobility. He decided to run away from his duties and go out to be a priest, a friar. Uh, though, I guess fate maybe has brought him back to his brother, who has taken his steed as like the the kind of inheritance and whatnot of the family, or the inheritor of the family. And either way, uh, Friar Fitzpatrick is an older brother that really worries about the group. He is the healer of the group. He tries to keep everyone alive, but at the same time, he is known from time to time to go off and have a bit of fun, either with, he's always picking mushrooms and always experimenting with those, or having getting a little bit too far into the wine. So he's uh he's an escapist, I guess, maybe of sorts, but he's here, and I would say maybe what Friar Fitzpatrick has been up to for the past week or so. um, I think maybe once the group came back, he would hope that the group had brought um, the bodies back of the adventurers. Maybe he'll ask that, but he would definitely like to see his companions, Hendrik and Kezi, make sure that they are given burial rights, as well as just checking in with the order of things around town, making sure that the church is still providing the dock workers with necessary necessary funds and food and whatnot to help them stay on their feet in these trying times of this monster in the lake.
I'm trying to remember. You guys brought the bodies back, right? Because like initially you ran away and like left them behind, but you went back.
Yeah, we
So
went back in to like try to fight them, and they were gone. So then I think we took the bodies.
okay.
Mhm.
So I think like at the start of the session we can say that like in the past week, like funeral rites and everything like that has have taken place, and you've given them a proper burial by the last rites of the Pluralitine Church. So we'll go next to Adrian, who is one of the deceased that we are referring to, but has taken over the role of, I guess, a hireling. I guess we could say kind of a, not exactly a hireling, but like a NPC that has been taking along. So I'll let you introduce them.
Hi everybody, I'm Adrian. Yes, I am playing Sir Geoffrey the Lesser, who is a brother to another NPC named Geoffrey the Simple. Okay, so lesser just means that he's either shorter or younger. I'm gonna go with younger. About Geoffrey, I think the past what he's been doing, he's been listening to, and I forget Scott's character, the goat. Anybody remember his name? I forgot.
Billet.
Billet, yeah,
Oh.
that's right. And so he's been listening to him give all these, I guess, like sermons on the on socialism and worker solidarity. So I think that Sir Geoffrey the Lesser has been listening to that, with, as a result of all of the death that he's been seeing recently. And he's very much into this idea of brotherhood and solidarity. Uh, if he gets any riches, I'm sure that he will be willing to share with some of the other people in the tavern that are down on their luck.
And not unlike the other Sir Joffrey that is a part of the Dolmenwood campaign, you also have a priestly brother, an older brother that definitely treats you like a lesser. And his name is Ambrosius Baptiste Maleval. So maybe it should be explicitly stated, like you are a
Yeah.
Maleval, but you've never lived at that place. You and your brother were actually selected by the Plurotine Church, maybe because of that lineage, to go to the castle, because you were searching for this essentially holy grail that was that wine was drunk out of by the crusaders that took the castle from the elves in the waning days of the war between at the time the kingdom of Brackenwold and the Cold Prince. You also have learned that in order to find the grail, you first have to find a number of artifacts that were the possessions of those knights. I don't know that I've ever given like a great rundown on what those things were, but a couple of the things that you know of are there is a reliquary, there is a scepter, and there is a crown that are among three of the things that you are looking for. So, needless to say, your brother is probably around putting you down for these socialist, communist thoughts that this new political thought that you are adopting. So, let's go over next to the newest member to step into Castle Xyntillan. Nick's going to introduce Ravos.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I am playing Ravos, an elf. Really, he's very, very, very young for an elf. Like, we're saying 50, which and like he's just so excited to start his adventuring life. And so when he saw that somebody was looking to hire an adventurer, he could not pass it up. And he is gonna try to keep his cool, but like on the inside, he is just like out of his mind, ecstatic that he's going on an adventure. So honestly, I hope he doesn't die, but that would kind of be hilarious.
Awesome. So, our session here is beginning this autumn evening. As we said, full moon is out. You all are gathered at Chooksnob, an inn fairly close to the docks. It is an establishment that had been repurposed out of an old wooden warehouse and has now been converted into this pleasant flop house, which is mostly attended to by travelers like yourself, but there's a fair deal. It seems to be one of the favorite meetups for the dock workers and the lake workers and things like that. Fisherman type. There's a definitely heavy pipe smoke that cuts through the stale aroma of the local beverage of choice, which is crabble, which is sort of this fermented crab apple beverage that maybe some of you have started to grow a taste for. It takes a little bit of adjusting to, but you're sitting around here, this lofty space. This is a very rustic. This is like a definitely blue collar feel. There's not even like necessarily like proper tables. Like you're mostly sitting around barrels and crates with a few wooden stools about. The proprietor is a very busy goat folk, shorthorn Bregel woman. She's tending to guests behind a big old, just looks like a tree trunk had been cut in half and then laid flat across its supports, and it's just got this kind of real rough rustic look. And you can see as she's tending to folk, most of her body is covered in hair naturally, but she does have a patch on her right arm, on her upper arm, that is shaven, and it proudly displays a tattoo of a tentacle coiling around it, which some of you know, especially Geoffrey the Lesser. You probably saw that Billet had gotten a tattoo like this, and it is a sign of being a former dock worker, or having the endorsement of such folk. There's a barrel-chested man, bald, who's wearing a sleeveless vest, who's also bearing the same tattoo. He seems to have taken a prominent position amongst a circle of very restless dock workers. And he takes a big substantive gulp of some crabble, and you can tell that he seems to be kind of like addressing the folk over in that corner. But then I'll kind of turn it over to you to hear what plans or conversations or things you wish to attend to. Is there anything that the group is doing as we open?
I just want Sir Geoffrey, because of what he's been listening to lately. I think he wants to get like one of those small kind of barrels and just take some of the wine from the barrels that we've taken out of the castle, and he'll fill it up and then take it to the tavern to share with the other dock workers and with this bald barrel-chested person.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you because probably I don't know, you would have to get permission from the main party to open one of those, to tap one of those barrels, because if one of them, if it's tapped, it will drastically lose its value.
Yeah. Well, I think
there's probably one we've tapped, right? Like, come on, like
Yeah.
one celebratory cask that we've like cracked open.
Well, you
Yeah,
haven't
I'm
done it
thinking
yet,
it was like
so,
the first one. The first one.
You don't have an open one with you.
All right, I'm gonna make the decision for the party and say that that's what we're doing. We're gonna have one open.
All right. Give me a second here.
Subtract it from our value.
I'm going to subtract it, and you're going to make the roll for what's going to happen with it.
Ooh, okay.
Since you
all right.
decided for us, you get
I
the
really
roll.
hope it somehow ends
Can
up
in the first
killing
5 minutes
Hendrik.
can a decision be made that's going to be disastrous? Let me see.
Adrian, your character is dead
Always.
again. You were poisoned. All right, what am I
Oh.
rolling? This feels like a D100 roll.
Hold on, I gotta find my spot.
Am I rolling? Am I rolling, or is
No, we're gonna make Winston. We gotta make
Yeah,
Winston
it's
do
his
it.
fault. It's gonna be his fault. So.
It's that impulsive
make
elf
him do it.
nature.
It was funny because while you're doing that, I was looking, I was like, I totally have a wine like bottle that I could have just opened up the whole fucking flask.
I do too, actually. You're totally right, but it's more wasteful if we do it this way, which
That's
feels
right.
more. It's actually how we track Ravos in. He's like, look at these
Uh-huh.
people; they're wasting things. This is classic elf behavior. All right.
I believe it's a D12, but
Oh,
this
okay.
is a large book. Yes, it is a D12.
I'm gonna roll a D12 right now in Foundry, and it is. Foundry's going slow for some reason.
9.
9.
9.
That seems safe. That's like a nice somewhere in the middle kind of number.
I'll just look at Alex's face. Here we go.
If it were a 12 or 1, I'd be scared. But
So Adrian, you go and you tap this cask, and you fill up a glass of wine. Are you drinking it?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. It is the best wine that you have ever tasted. So the good news is like nothing bad happened to you. The bad news is not that your character would like at this moment know this, but that was like a 6,000 gold piece cask.
Ooh.
There's plenty more. There's plenty more. We've brought over a bunch. I know that.
can we
This
level
is
up
the
now?
most
Like, is that?
I've already accounted for the XP on these things, but you've already gained your XP from it.
Oh my god! I'll
I'm
take
feeling
another.
good.
I'll take a glass with him and
Oh,
taste it and be like,
is it good?
Oh, it's the
Ah.
most wonderful wine I've ever tasted in my life. Yeah, try.
Oh, thank you. I will.
Are
share this with a
you
dock
going to
worker.
share that around?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna share with everybody here, with the dock workers, especially them. They've never tasted wine like this before.
and never will again.
No, this is by far the most expensive beverage that you will ever have. So they're all like, as you're like sharing this with them, they're like, it's like you've ruined the taste of Crabble forever. They'll never be able to go back to that. Like it'll. Oh, this is like the taco stand where like you got the best tacos, but you'll never find it again, and it's just gonna ruin that meal for you. But yeah, everyone is drinking, and there's like the restless mood is sort of cut into a bit because like this wine just makes everything right, and the worries about where money is going to come for the family, all of those things are just shoved to the side for about a moment here tonight, and everyone's drinking to your health. Of course, your names are coming up a lot. Not only are you sharing this this very sophisticated wine with them, but you're also the ones that are responsible for their livelihood right now. If it weren't for you, there would be no jobs for any of the people. So there's a lot of toasts in your honor happening, and
I'm gonna call Ravos. So like, Ravos, come try this amazing wine. It brings me back to our home world, our home realm of fairy. This is like an incredible wine. And I just offer up a glass to Ravos.
I'll like timidly start drinking it. Like I'm nervous if I should be doing it.
and
I'll take a big swig.
it tastes. It is so smooth. Like you can't even tell that it is in truth alcohol. It is just. It's in its own category. The taste.
Come on, you can't just like sip something like that. I mean, you can, but
I'm trying to enjoy it.
oh no.
Like,
To get the full effect, you need to let it burn down into your gullet.
The sommelier over here.
Yeah.
like spitting it out in another container for later.
Are there any among you that aren't drinking? Or is everyone
Father's
enjoying?
definitely drinking, right?
Oh yes, I'm.
Lilibeth is like, everybody's raving about this, and she's
Mm.
breaking her own rules. So yes, I'm drinking.
Yes, please. It was so good. Oh, so good. We're not getting anything
Apropos.
done tonight. I already know.
My toes are already tingling and numb.
So as you all are finishing your first glass of this wine, give a con check. So you're gonna roll a d20. You want to roll under your Constitution score, or not? Maybe you don't.
True. I already come across drunk. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I did
10.
not roll under my con score.
I did.
I rolled under.
did.
I rolled.
I rolled under. I rolled an 8.
So those of you that make it, you're doing fine. Those of you that don't, you're feeling a little tipsy, which just is a -1 penalty to attack rolls.
We got any
Oh.
fights later.
See the benefit of taking it slow?
No, what
You
benefit?
don't
I'm
get
feeling
drunk. It's just a slow.
great. I'm feeling great. Come on, dude. I
Sometimes
don't
that's the point.
often feel happy. Just leave me alone.
Aye.
Toast to the Malibu. And I'll toast
Oh.
the family.
Yes.
The vampires and killers?
Kezi.
Sure, why not?
And Kezi.
And to
Oh.
Kezi.
Um,
And Henrik.
Oh,
Henrik.
friend Henrik. Yes.
oh, okay, I'll toast them.
I was. He showed his stuff. I might speak for. I don't know. I was thinking maybe if he would have been around, that we could have invited him along on our adventures. It's quite tragic that he passed.
And nobody's fault.
Right.
It happens.
How did that happen again?
Yeah. How did that happen?
It all happened fast.
Oh,
So fast.
it does, as it does.
As
it
it does.
As it does.
I just can't believe that Kezi didn't make it. I mean, she stayed. She should have run.
Well, listen, Lillibeth, when I came here, I had a companion who also perished. It's a difficult world that we live in, different world we walk. But you mortal types, you understand that more than most.
Yes.
Mortal types.
The short-lived.
Like,
The short-lived.
well,
We
you
have
know,
other worse names if you want us to drag them out.
No, it's fine.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think I
Those
do
are some of the
want
pet
you to
names.
drag them out. And
Ah,
I'm starting to
thank you.
reach for
It's
the
quite
little
nice of you.
dagger in my
Oh.
boot.
Ah. And you, Ravos, do you have any nicknames for us? Or, well, tell me. Wait, hold on. Before that, tell me, do you believe in well, uh, a superior being of sorts?
I believe in myself
Oh,
and
uh,
getting stuff done myself.
okay. So you feel you are the superior being? That's fine. That's great.
He should get a -1 on his healing saves when he gets.
If the question is, do I feel I'm superior to you? The answer is yes.
Oh, that's the way you started that statement. I didn't think it was going to end up going that way. How great of you! He's great. You're great. What are you? You look like a strong young man, huh?
Yep. Just
Mm.
trying to figure out this adventuring thing.
Oh,
Oh.
I'll throw my arm around Ravos and say, "Remember, we're us fairy folk. We are tricksters, sarcastic, witty types. I'm sure he's merely just pulling your leg there, right, Ravos?" And just kind of give him a look, like, "Oh, stop! You gotta stop."
And maybe you were interrupted at the perfect time. That there is no choice but to stop because all of the kind of rowdiness amongst the dock workers kind of simmers a bit as that larger barrel-chested man kind of takes to the center of the tavern. And he's raising a glass. He seems to kind of be gesturing over in your direction. He says, "Aye! We've been stuck on dry land for these past fortnights, scratching a living by the grace of these crazy bastards seeking to unload that damned Malaval wine of theirs. And here we are, drinking it, men. Here, here, I wish to make a toast to their name and their coin." Ha, 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 ha. And they all laugh. He says, "But we have serious business to talk about because their wagon will soon roll off to Prigwort, and with it, their money and their generosity. What then? Big Chook's cursed song will still be singing, and we'll be stuck here like a bunch of beached cod. Sir Osric's been tight-lipped about what he's going to do about the damned thing. It's time that we took matters into our own hands, mates. Maybe it's the wine talking, but we need to go hunting. We need to go and deal with this thing ourselves. We gotta demand some bloody action. We gotta make things happen. That fancy pants won't be sorting out our troubles for us. What do you say?" You can hear there's kind of like a mixed reaction to that. Maybe some that are on like their third glass of your wine are kind of like all about it a bit. Whereas you hear one of the people in the crowd just says, "You want us to go out there by ourselves? You got seawater sloshing around in your brain. You know what it is. I heard it has 3-4 heads. We can't deal with this thing on our own. We need to send word to the merfolk. We need to send word to King Capricorn." And like some of the folk are like, "Oh, that's curiosity kind of cascades around the tone of the tavern a bit, and there's like another person that just says, "You want us to talk to the sea water? Do you want us to talk to those fish-faced fairies? We can't trust them. For all we knew, they unleashed Big Chook on us to drive us from their shores so that they can have their lake back for themselves." Then there's like kind of a little bit of commotion. There's just a little bit of tension, a lot of different opinions about what's being talked about here.
How do you think they talk to the merfolk?
They describe them as fairy, which is interesting.
Wonder what the merfolk will tell them.
Oh, I see. Oh, you're right. they might. Yeah, they may have some tales to tell. Well, to be fair, I don't think, given how things played out, it would be too damning if they told what they saw, right? Because it's not like we were in that boat,
No.
hypothetical boat that hypothetically was involved.
And we did try, and not hypothetically try, we did try to stop it.
Hypothetically, if we had been there, we would have tried to stop it, of course.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Right.
I'm gonna pour myself another glass of wine.
Can I have some more too?
Sure, yes.
If you're having your second glass, make another con check just
That's
to
right.
double check. While you're doing the con check, I'm going to ask a question because I don't remember. Those of you that, basically Silver, Lillibeth, and Friar, did you guys see what happened on the lake? You just saw Paulus' boat and the witch's boat go out there, right? Okay, that's important.
They told us what they were gonna do. They were like, we're gonna like we knew there was some kind of like eldritch bad thing going on, and we knew there was gonna be a sacrifice, but we didn't see it.
You like heard like a screech or something maybe, but like you didn't see it, correct? Okay.
No, but we're pretty confident that we are involved in the situation or allowed it to happen, I guess.
So I'm draining my wine glass a little bit more quickly than I might otherwise in looking at it. There's just not enough in here to get me drunk enough to have this conversation.
While you're pouring your next glasses, there's like an older woman that's amongst the crowd. Yeah, she actually like entered in. She seems completely sober. She entered into the bar maybe like 20 minutes ago. It seems like she's kind of gotten the crowd under her influence a little bit. Like she's the elder voice of reason, and she's basically stepped in and she said, "Now calm yourselves. Now if you want to entertain yourself with flights of fancy and drunken delusions of grandeur, that's your business. You're free to do that. But we can't be serious about what we are discussing here. We are not warriors. Half of you can't even harpoon a tuna, let alone you think you're going to take one and spear a sea beast and square between the eyes. Now, we must work with Sir Osric. He has probably been tight-lipped because he's understaffed. His knights are busy with things in the North Woods as they are, and all these stories coming out of the castle. Clearly he is in over his head. We need to beseech him. We need to ask him for help. He needs to send word to Brackenwold. This is not just a problem for our community. This affects the wider duchy. Everybody is going to be hurting for food, and we rely on the lake. I will talk with him in the morning. We will get this sorted out. And everyone kind of just, a lot of like ashamed looks from those that were actually talking about, let's go out on the sea tonight and hunt Big Chook. They kind of hang in their heads and just looking down into their drinks, and they're putting all of that aside.
think Sir Geoffrey will lead some of the, some of the dock workers that are feeling the effects of the alcohol, and we would all go out and just start yelling out at the lake, towards the lake, like mooning, flashing, whatever it is. We're just having a great old time
Okay.
haunting.
So you're gonna lead, maybe some of those that you are familiar with from hauling wine barrels out of the castle. Like they'd be like, hell yeah, let's go throw rocks in the river. That sounds good. Or in the lake. Let's yell at that fucking monster. Is anybody else going with?
I might, just because today, to watch. Sure, let's go.
So Geoffrey the Lesser and Lillibeth and this, I don't know, we'll say it's like a rabble of about what? I think we've been saying like about a dozen or so dock workers have been coming out to the castle with you. So you all go out into the bay. You have pretty good visibility. Like the big full moon is out. It's sort of cold, it's cold autumn, crisp air. But you can see the stars are out, good visibility, and there's like kind of a stillness out on the lake as everyone's got their glasses of wine. People are picking up rocks and throwing them into the lake, and they're hurling obscenities out. Anything in particular that Geoffrey or Lillibeth are doing with this mob?
Geoffrey's just screaming out there, yelling, nothing in particular.
I'm sitting on a rock behind I'm assuming there's got to be rocks on the beach because there's always rocks on the beach. And I'm taking out my bow, and I'm not taking out one of the silver-tipped arrows, but I'm taking out an arrow, and I'm not completely drunk at this point because that last drink really didn't hit me as hard as the first one. But I'm thinking about, so I'm taking out a little piece, because I do have a piece of parchment. I'm taking out a little piece of parchment, and I'm writing a note, to Paulith. I say, Paulith, if you get this note, please let me know how you are. I know you hate it when I treat you like a kid. Lillibeth. And I'm going to wrap it around the arrow, tie it off, and I'm going to try my damnedest to shoot it out into the water and hope that it gets picked up.
You pull back the bowstring and you launch that arrow, and it goes sailing out into the lake, into the darkness.
Just gone.
And it just feels like this is, you probably know a futile thing, but it is a thing that maybe like makes you feel good that you tried, like you're trying to make that connection. There's just that you watch as it goes away, and it feels almost like a little bit of the weight or the burden is lifted, and there's just like this moment of peace.
Thank you.
But then that stillness kind of gets whipped up a little bit, and there's a wind that comes calling back, almost like as an answer to your message sent out into the lake. And at first it just feels like it kind of wakes you up into a little bit of soberness. It's just this chill lake. It's got the, it's bringing that cool effect from the lake and washing over you, and you feel the hairs on your arms and on the back of your neck. You get goosebumps a little bit, but then it starts like really whipping up, like
Time to go inside, brothers.
mild hurricane feel. And there is a screech that you hear on the air, like a pterodactyl's call, like 3 of them, and it sends like shockwaves across the surface of the water, and it kicks up like these big waves that overtake the docks and kind of shake some of the boats that are moored there. And for those of you that are in the tavern, almost simultaneously, like all of the windows in the tavern shatter and break, and you hear this horrible noise coming from the bay.
Wow. Oh no.
Okay, it really is
Sounds like we're about to
time.
be adventuring, baby.
Oh, you're excited. That's good.
So, Geoffrey and Lillibeth, I need you to make me a save versus magic, or save versus spell. You want to roll over your number.
The
Over.
spell rods staves. Yeah.
Okay. Thank God.
Whoops.
We have a reroll just in case. Here.
Should I re-roll this? Am I? It's
Look at
kinda high.
Alex's face to decide how important it is to reroll.
I don't know. He's doing a very good job of not.
It's okay.
Going.
Well,
So,
I'll take the reroll. I'll take the reroll.
Okay.
He baited the reroll out.
Yes, that one's. Wait, does
Oh,
I have to roll
no.
under?
No, you want to roll
Over.
over.
Oh,
over.
no, over. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, you had a 16.
I shouldn't have done
Oh, did you make it the
Yeah.
first time?
No, I didn't.
I
make it.
did.
Oh. Okay, Lillibeth, you're not affected by this, but it sounds like Geoffrey, you were just filled with fear. Like you have to run. And you're not running like sensibly like back into the tavern necessarily, like you're running around the town, as are a lot of these
My brothers, my dock workers.
dock workers, yes. So you're running in panic through the streets. Lillibeth, what's your course of action?
I'm watching them run in panic through the streets. Oh my God, do I? Oh, damn it. And I go back into the tavern and say, he's running. He's running. They're all running around the streets. We got to go and do something. We can't just let them run.
Oh,
Can
boys will be
we?
boys.
What?
I have an important question. There was mooning happening and flashing happening. When this fear effect happened, how many of them had their pants down? Anybody?
Probably a good third of them are like just
Yeah.
crawling.
like, yeah, they're crawling, they're stumbling, and
Yeah,
just
did someone
no
like
dignity.
have pants right around their ankles and they're just falling straight over
Yeah.
trying to run?
I mean, this was
Okay.
supposed to be a celebration. Come on. We can't let them die because we're celebrating.
Okay,
Or-
okay, all right. I'll put my harp away. I was plucking away in the tavern, and I'll go help Lillibeth round up the runners.
Okay.
I'll start with the ones that are crawling around.
And how about Friar Fitzpatrick?
I will look. I will look to Ravos and say, "Are you ready to go out there?"
I think so.
Okay. All right.
He has no concept of what fights or adventuring looks like.
However you feel about yourself, please be careful, because I hope we want to make sure that you come back. Yes. Okay. All right. And I'm gonna sit there and finish my drink and chug it, because that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, you're probably essentially alone towards the end, because the proprietor, she would have like opened up like the cellar and like urged everyone like down into the basement, into the cellar, you know.
Yeah.
We'll be safe down there. And so by the time, you know, that all happens, you're finishing your drink and you're the last person and you're closing it down. But once you finish,
All right. Here we are.
head
All right.
outside, and yeah, that's blowing winds. You can see the trees just outside of town and throughout the town are just struggling to stay upright. It almost feels like this wind is strong enough that those that aren't properly rooted into the ground could literally get lifted up and torn from their roots. You could see the damage to a number of the homes. Many shards of glass on the ground. There's like a bell that is barely perceptible over the howling of the wind that seems to be coming from the old keep on the edge of town. And you notice there are 5 knights riding around on horses that seem to be there's one that's prominent. He is big, thick, droopy mustache, and he's wearing chainmail. He's got a tabard of blue checker and the face of a goat. I think I have this one in Foundry, so I'll share this with you. But this is the house sigil of House Brackenwold. And so he is out and kind of all these dock workers and such. He's barking out orders like, "Get inside, you damned idiots! Get inside! Get down! Get into a cellar if you can. We'll wait this out. We'll just give it time. Big Chook will withdraw. It won't come up and out of the lake. Get inside." And he spots like those of you that are kind of chasing after them. And he's like, "Can you round them up? You look like you haven't had too many. Round them up. Get them to safety, please."
It's what we were doing.
And he rides off, kind of down towards the dock, just to check to see if anybody has stumbled or is still like stuck down there.
Great. Where did Geoffrey go? Oh no, I can't believe I'm saying that.
It's Geoffrey, right? Not
Oh,
Joffrey.
Geoffrey. Sorry.
Yes. Practice.
It's old habits.
I know.
Either way, where is
Same
he?
story.
So, Silver, Lillibeth, Ravos, like the 3 of you are able to like find some of these dock workers that have like wandered off and like kind of like shepherds, steward them into safer grounds. But Friar Fitzpatrick, you're looking out for Geoffrey, and you can see that he's running towards the north of town. It looks like he's in a mad frenzy, dashing basically towards the wood.
Okay. I'm gonna try to call out to him and start running after him, telling him to calm down.
So the good news is Geoffrey is a little bit encumbered by the armor that he is wearing, and so you've got a little bit of speed on him. But why don't you give me a con check? Try to roll under your con.
Okay.
I just like in our last session of this, we're gonna have just a drunken debauchery episode. Just like,
Hey, this is what Joffreys do. They get something stuck in
They
their
get
head and they run into the woods. And then
that's
adventure
true.
happens.
In the woods.
Goes with the name.
that one.
I forgot. Yeah, the woods connection. Man, that's a throwback.
Oh yeah.
We're good.
All right. So you managed to catch up to him and like, what does this look like? Is this like a tackle to the ground to try to stop him?
Well, the first things first. Geoffrey, how does Geoffrey look at this moment? Was he one of the ones that was mooning him? Like, what's going on with this whole?
No, I don't think you were truly mooning, were you? Or were you?
No, because I have the armor on, so it would have been a pain in the ass.
You were getting other people to do it.
I was getting other
good.
people.
I was just asking. I'm gonna like run in front of him and be like, Geoffrey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Calm down. It's fine. It's
Big
fine.
Chook. It's Big Chook.
Oh, is that who?
And his eyes look wild, like a scared animal that is just in like total fight or flight mode, and he's kind of probably fighting you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go, man. Let me go. I have to run it.
To figure out if I know a way of if this kind of fear, if I've kind of dealt with this before. I'm gonna give a hearty shake to Geoffrey and say, "Pray with me," and I'm gonna like shake him as hard as I can by his shoulders.
So you're shaking him, and you hear like a voice from behind you say, "No, that's my job, damn it!" face my brother.
Oh,
Who knows where your Geoffrey is? There's this little rotund-looking priestly
Oh.
man with an oraculary around his neck that comes over and is like, "No, it's like this. You gotta manhandle him." And he just smacks him like flat in the face, and that seems to kind of you snap to Geoffrey.
It was the monster. It was the monster that was causing all this wind.
you're fine.
Now you're causing it. You went drunk down to the dock and had people showing their asses all willy-nilly all over the bay. Of course they woke this thing up. It is an ancient thing. You must treat it with dignity and respect, not stones and...
And what were you doing in the woods, brother? This time at night.
I was...
Yeah, what are you doing in the woods, brother?
I was having a pray.
Oh,
A prey. Got it.
Yes.
it's fine. Yes, sure.
Check his pockets for mushrooms.
You can see there's like a big divot where he rolled a cask out to enjoy by himself.
Oh,
Better not be one of our casks.
I'm gonna give out a listen. Has everyone started to calm down?
Yes. Yes.
It
Let's go
seems
back
like
then.
it seems like the wind is starting to die down at this point. The howls that you are hearing, those screeching sounds from the bay, have subsided.
Okay, and then I will say yes. Well, in that case, and I stare at the cask that he has open, and I say, I think it's good that we all pray together. And then I will.
Very good.
Ah,
I only have but one glass, but we
that's
can
fine. We can
share.
share it. No problem. Here we are.
Come, brother, you can have some too.
Thank you.
You've earned it.
He'll take a nice long swig.
And I'm gonna kind of maybe I'll like whisper to Joffrey and be like, "You should stand up for yourself. You shouldn't let him talk to you that way." And then,
He's a little scary. He's a
No,
little
no.
scary fellow.
That's
So what kind of role for irony is there? Just
Mhm.
like self-awareness roll, save against death.
Like wisdom, right?
These are real doppelgangers, you know. Usually it's hard to run doppelgangers, but somehow it happened in this one. Like these naming conventions. Yeah. He tells you he's gonna wag a finger at you, Geoffrey, and says, "Okay, now you can enjoy this wine, but it does not give you an excuse to get out of bed late tomorrow. We have an early day. We're heading back to the castle, and you know our mission is
Yes,
sacred."
brother. Yes.
You know?
Yes, I know.
You haven't prayed at this altar as long as I have. I can do this and be functional in the morning.
Oh, you're right. Every
Okay.
time, whatever you say, you're always right, brother. You're always right.
Just have half of what I have. That's probably enough. So,
He'll kick the barrel to the ground. He'll just kick it, let it tip over, and then he'll walk back to the tavern.
All right. Well, more for us, I suppose.
Well, here we go. Let us pray.
Let us pray. So, is there anything else? That's probably like the excitement for the evening. It seems like the knights kind of managed to take those in that are still wild and get them to places where they can be supervised until they calm down. And the hour gets to be late, and it's time to take your rest, enjoy this last big sleep before getting up in the morning and making the early trek out to the castle. But is there anything else that any of you would like to do before that happens? Otherwise, we will flip it over here to the 21st of Obthryme. It is
Yeah.
a little bit of a damp, overcast day as you're waking up. There's a drizzling rain out, very wet conditions, but not terrible enough to call off adventuring. Probably, you still have like decent enough visibility. It's just sort of like it'll probably be a little bit of a miserable day, but nothing that would slow you down or get you marooned. Anything you wish to do before you head out to the castle?
We're all square. Like we have like an arrangement with the dock workers. Like there's nothing we need to like negotiate there. Like that's all set, right? Like they have tools and everything.
They've got, yeah, you bought the wagon, you bought the horse. Is it, I don't remember if it was a horse or 2 horses. I think it was just 1 horse needed for the cart or the wagon. You bought some block and tackle. You got everything that you need for them. They're all paid up out of Geoffrey's coffers. So you should be square with them. And they've done this a number of times now. Like they know you don't really have to babysit them. They know where they're going and what they're doing. Which frees you up to possibly pursue. You've been pursuing a quest for this gargoyle called the Blind Beast, who was seeking his eyes. That he says his eyes had been stolen from him or taken from him, and he said that if he said that he is as old as the castle itself, and that he knows a lot of secrets, and he would give you 3 questions he would attempt to answer. If he knows the answers, he would give them to you as a reward for recovering his eyes.
Got it. Now that's an interesting point. What if he doesn't know the answer? Can we mulligan and like ask a question he actually can answer? Or it's like a genie or something, where it's like 3, it's like done.
If you want, you could go and negotiate that with him at the start here. If you want to go,
We'll give him 1 eyeball and then go from there. Yeah, okay. So I think it sounds like I think it sounds like we're pretty good. I mean, unless anyone needs to get like supplies or anything like that. How are we on rations? Do we have food for the day? And
I believe I still have plenty of rations.
okay, yeah. I think
I
we're
think
good then.
What I will do is I will as always I will ask let's see. I think I'm gonna ask Geoffrey. Geoffrey, your weapons you have, anything against undead and such?
No,
Uh,
no. Why do you ask?
well, here, I'll give you a bottle of holy water that will help you for an hour be able to attack the undead.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, no problem. You seem like you might be up front, so you're steady.
Yes.
Yes. Very well. And my two Fey friends. My first Silver.
Hello.
Yes, we know about your where you stand as far as believing in the one true God, and he seems to have had you both have a bit of a relationship, right?
Certainly curious.
Curious, it's right. And by no means am I pushing this. I am saying it's facts. Sometimes he hears my calls for you, sometimes he doesn't. Either way, I would like to give you this. And you too as well, Ravos. I will give you both a dose of a spirit theme. And what that does is it's going to give you, if you eat it for 1 day, you can only do it once per day. It'll give you a D2 HP.
Wow, that's nice. You're way huge for level 1.
Well, if our calls are not answered, at least you still have a bit of healing for yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna eat it now. I mean, right? Because like we're about to go, right? Oh, it's healing. It's not. It's not a
healing. Yes,
maximum.
it's not
Okay, never
temporary.
mind.
It's not temporary. Yeah.
Yeah, yep. I wasted. Oh. No, yeah,
Oh.
I'll save it. Like, okay.
No, not yet. I was.
I thought it was like 8 or something. Like it was like a
Yeah.
max HP thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it should be noted, Silver, you know this, but Ravos, you feel almost like a low-key sickness in the area where you're at. And the reason for that is because this area is within a very wide circle of stones that encompass, it's like miles upon miles, but it's called the Ring of Chell, and it's a number of like old dolmen stones that had been put up a long time ago by the Droon, by humans, and by members of the church to banish the Cold Prince, an old very, very ancient Fey prince who at one time had claimed dominion over the Dolmenwood. And so, being of fairy nature or blood, this can affect your spells. I don't know, I think Ravos, you probably have a spell. So you have a chance of that spell successfully casting if you cast it, but the Ring of Chell may suppress it. So just be aware of that.
I don't even get to use my one spell I got.
Maybe not. That's adventuring.
Adventuring sucks.
It sucks. Okay, so you all head out with your team of dock workers, your wagon. There is a road that more or less like takes you out to the location, and then a switchback up a cliff side that takes you up to the castle. You also have Father Ambrosius Malevol, Geoffrey's brother, will be accompanying you. And so you make your way and endure this just drizzling rain, these uncomfortably wet, cold, clammy conditions. And you make your way up the cliffside, and eventually you stand before the gates of Castle Xyntillan. You can see its outer wall encapsulates the inner courtyard and the many spires that dot the atmosphere above you. Let me switch us to that map real quick. I'll move your token. You'd be coming up here, and I would imagine, your dock workers will start to head to the southern end of the castle to go get set up and go to where the cellars are. But how about the rest of you, the 5 player characters here, and then Father Ambrosius? If you did want to go and maybe check in with the Blind Beast, it's pretty easy to do. You would just cut through the courtyard here, go through the main entrance, and you'd be in the courtyard before the tallest spire of the castle, and that's where the Blind Beast is. If you wanted to ask him about, what are the conditions of those 3 questions? How motivated are we to find these eyes? Or even just check in with him to hear from him what he knows.
I think we should check in on him. I think you should do it. I am curious about the conditions, and also if he's, still down before we go out on this big adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would be able to make your way then through this, kind of through the rubble that marks the entranceway, and then you would cross through the courtyard, past kind of the overgrown gardens and such, and then through the main entranceway right into the courtyard. And just as a refresher, here you've got that massive spire is like right in front of you, and that's like the tallest. It's got to go up at least like 5 stories above you, and on it, maybe about like 20 feet off of the ground, there are like these little platforms where gargoyles sit and there are a number of statues there. But the main one that you are, one of them is a statue of the Cold Prince, who holds a heavy orb in his hand. But the one that you maybe are concerning yourself with is the statue of a ape with the scales, tail, and grin of a crocodile. And he has notably no eyes. And as you enter into the outer court, you can see he like animates. It seems like he senses your presence even if he can't see you. And he, like, his nostrils are flaring a bit, and he says, could it be? My heroes! I can feel your presence here. You've returned, but I sense not with my eyes.
No, not yet. We have come back to begin our quest, our adventure, so to speak, to recover your eyes. We mainly just wanted to check in on you, see how you're doing. Are you doing okay?
I'm doing well. I almost recovered my eyes myself. They passed through this court just this morning.
Truly, you mean your his brother? Is the situation a brother, right?
I don't think it was him. He smells bad, but not like this thing. This thing smelled of rot and death. And it sloshed
your
around a
eyes?
bit. Yes, I saw myself, but for a moment. And I would say I am holding up impeccably under all of this weathering and aging.
I actually think it makes you look more handsome.
Yes. But I
So,
don't wish to look upon myself. I wish to look out on all of you at some point and answer your questions for you once this is all resolved.
I suppose it brings us to our own question. First we must get advice from you about this rot creature as we hunt it down. But before that, our arrangement was 3 questions, correct? If we bring your eyes, you'll answer 3 questions for us.
Yes, I'll answer 3 questions for you.
What if we don't know the answers to some of those questions? Could we negotiate that it's 3 answers, not 3 questions?
I will give you 3 answers.
3 substantial answers?
Yes.
I feel like I need like red tape like drawn up on this. Like, the definition of substantial means it. Okay, so for example, if we were to ask you something you don't know, and you said, I don't know, that's not an answer, right?
I will not say that. I assure you, I will not tell you, I don't know something.
You know.
I know everything.
Ah,
Well, maybe not everything, but I know a lot of things. I'd be shocked if you come up with some question that I can't spin up an answer for.
I'm gonna come up with like a calculus question. Just go Google like difficult calculus. All right, that's fair enough. Then I think I feel satisfied.
This is the first time we're meeting, and I apologize if this has been asked before, but you say this creature smells of death and decay. Your eyeballs are important to you, yes?
More important than anything I can think of.
Well, could you give us some information about this beast that has your, unless you already have? In that case, I am sorry.
Oh,
I only spoke to your brother.
it walked through here. It sloshed around like it sounded like a waterlogged corpse just sloshing around, and it made this awful sound. I heard it. It went to the north.
How big was it?
It sounded large. It sounded like it almost it I think this is like actually not really a door here, but actually an archway there. And he'll tell you that he heard it. It almost sounded as if it had to squeeze into the castle. It was struggling a bit, and I just could hear like a sponge being rinsed, the water just dropping off of it. And you know, if you look over in that direction, there's evidence that what he is saying is true. It does look that like on the ground here, like there's been, it's a little bit rainy today, so like the grass and everything is wet, but you can see that there is just kind of like the presence of something heavy kind of dragged itself through the lawn here. It looks like it probably originated from over here and moved over to the north over here. There's just like this big trail of like mud.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex, I just want to let you know that I don't have any sight on the token.
Yeah, I don't
see the
either.
token, but I don't know if that.
Huh.
So we don't have the eyes yet.
Ah, yes.
We'll be able to see.
Hmm.
So while Alex is figuring that out, I'll just lean over to Ravos and be like, "This is an adventure. Have you ever seen anything like this in your infinitesimally small 50 years of life?"
I have not. But it sounds like this guy hasn't seen much either.
Oh, singer!
So
Fairy wit on display.
who all doesn't have vision? Does everybody not have vision?
I have vision.
I do not.
So it's just Nick and Isaac.
I don't think I do either, but my foundry's kind of chugging, so I'm trying to see what's up. Might be me.
I can see the token.
Yeah, I can see you moving around.
Yeah.
I saw you ping, so I saw the
Wait,
ping
so
and
Moreen, you
ping.
don't see either?
No, I see. Okay, so there's a token down here at the stairs. It's hard to describe. You can't see the screen. So where you
can see stairs, so that's tells us you can see.
Yes.
Doesn't sound right though, because the token is.
Yeah, I'm not able. I'm looking at the stream and I see it's green, like a floor. It's just a white little circle around the token.
Yeah, I've been watching
That's
the
what I
stream too. Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, I had a player token, and apparently it's not working. It has everybody as the owner, so they should be able to see. I guess I'll create a new one.
Is there a
Is
way
it
to make a torch or something? Maybe because it thinks it's inside. I don't know.
Well, right now there is a 20 sides token on top of the circular staircase, right there. That's what I can see.
Maybe it has something to do with there's like another token out there.
Walls.
So delete that. Player token. Let's give this vision.
So what's the plan, Silver? Shall we go to the door to the north?
I mean, I think we take the most direct route.
I'd
Go
at
right
least
for the
like to
creature.
I'd at least like to take a look at, to identify maybe the tracks it must have left in this muck.
Is this what? Is this the final thing we're doing here? Do we have another mission?
Can you all maybe refresh
I got
your
visibility.
foundries? You have visibility
I
now?
will refresh.
I
Yep.
do not.
Sure, I'll refresh.
But I'll
you know.
refresh. And
Good.
Now you can see?
I can see the courtyard now.
Yes,
good.
it looks like a little
yeah,
white
yeah,
hooded
All right.
ghost.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, can you still see like previous places you've been?
Yes, I can.
No.
Yes.
Yep.
I cannot.
That makes sense because you haven't been places, so just as long as everybody else can still see there.
It looks like I just appeared here. I don't even know where the entrance
Perfect.
is.
That's all right.
We'll hold your
right.
hand and we'll take you with us.
This is truly a horrible place.
I do want to go ahead and see if I can't identify this. So I'm going to go ahead and do a check.
I'm sorry, you're trying to identify the tracks? Is that what it is?
Yeah, just in case. I mean, the likelihood of me knowing what it is slim to none, but you know, what the heck. Maybe I do. Or at least maybe I can take a better guess.
Yeah, do
Percent die?
It's not really tracking. I guess give me just like an intelligence check.
Okay, I can do that. Oh, here we go. Like, where'd she go? An intelligence check. It was an 11. It was a success.
Okay, so it's under your intelligence. I mean, this thing, there really aren't tracks. It's like something like dragged its large body, probably at least 8 feet wide.
Like a
Maybe a
big
little bit
giant
inconsistent. Like sometimes it's 10 feet wide, sometimes it's 8 feet wide, but like that in that kind of range.
A giant slime.
You get the sense it's a little bit malleable, whatever it is. It doesn't necessarily have a rigid form. And tell me, are you just visually looking at these tracks?
Well, I would be
Or is there more
using.
to the investigation?
Well, the intent was to identify. So I would be looking, and if there was, I would be looking for anything distinguishing other than sort of like what I could tell by the nature of the track itself. Does that make sense?
So visually, you're doing a visual inspection.
I'm doing it visually. I'm not necessarily sniffing, and I don't have any magic to do anything else.
We'll say, as you're looking, you take 10 minutes to do this, so this will be a turn. I gotta remember that what the game is that we're playing. You know, so
Yes, it's
one
not.
turn has
Yes.
taken place here. You see that there's like in some of the muck, there's something moving or writhing in the mud, but the mud is opaque, so you can't like see through it. But there is something like moving there.
Okay. I could, if I see that, I could potentially take, see, what do I have that I could poke it with? I would probably take out my spear and just sort of like poke it into the ground, not deliberately on top of it, but maybe just sort of like to lift it to see what I could see on the flat of the spear.
So you poke the spear in and kind of like a spatula, kind of like pop whatever that is out, and it lifts up out of the muck this like lamprey looking creature with a big ring of teeth around its mouth, just small, like maybe about a foot long, but it's like flopping around then and kind of like biting around in the area where you flip it.
Okay. Said, Silver, anybody? You want to come over here and
Hello?
take a look at this?
I will come over and take a look at whatever you're talking about.
Okay, just don't get too close because it might bite.
I'm gonna touch it.
Of course you are.
Of course
Do
you
not
will.
touch it. I will. I'm gonna. I'm happy that you're saying I'm gonna touch it before you say.
Keep forgetting you're such.
Don't.
So I was up getting a drink, so I don't have no idea what's happening.
So
I'll touch it anyway.
Lillibeth was trying to take a look at this muddy track and identify what it is. Discovered that there was something writhing and moving around in the mud. Flipped it up out of the mud with a spear, and there's like a 1 foot long like lamprey that got flicked up out of the muck.
Chop it in half.
You kill it.
Oh,
Now you can
Good
touch it.
good point. Good point. Both of you come here, and I'm gonna talk to both of you. I'm gonna say Geoffrey and Ravos, come here, please. I need to talk to you. This is very important. Now,
Yes, Father.
Geoffrey, you've been through here, haven't you?
I was, yes, the last time we went out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you might know, but Ravos, there are items and things here that might be shiny or interesting or maybe a skull with gems in it or something. And you want to touch it. Do not. Please do not touch it. Instant, and I mean instant death. We need to keep you two
Noted.
around. Do you
Thank you
understand?
for the warning.
It truly is a warning. Now tell me that you will not touch things.
From up above, you just hear the blind beast says, "Unless it's my eyes, please feel free to pick those up. They are shiny, so they should be in the exception box of what he's talking about. But he's very wise."
I need a verbal confirmation.
I will only kill on this adventure. No touch.
Good, and you, Geoffrey.
I will not. I've seen what this place does to people.
Very good.
Meanwhile,
Ooh.
Silver's picked up the other half of the creature that he chopped in half. And he's like touching it and looking at it, putting his hands in its mouth and like digging around and just seeing what's going on.
It's just in the
You
background.
put your hands in its mouth?
It's a lamprey. You don't put your hands in the mouth of a lamprey. It could bite you even in
Yeah.
death. What? And I
What's in
smack
here?
it out of your hand. What are you
Do
thinking?
not touch it. Either when it's dead, don't touch it. I'm just saying all these things in the background. You're just like
I don't.
accepting it.
I don't remember you being this. I don't know.
Aren't you curious what's inside this thing and what it was eating?
Not at the risk of my fingers. How would I pull a
It's
bow?
dead. We chopped it in half.
No dead things ever bite us.
Fair enough. We have killed a few undead things too.
So,
I'll fling it back into the mud.
Geoffrey or Jeffrey? Sorry, we keep Joffreying you.
Joffrey.
Joffrey. Okay, Joffrey.
Or you can just call me
Joffrey.
Joff. Joff is fine.
Or
Joff.
idiot. That works too.
Don't listen
Oh.
to my brother.
Ah,
I think that was the beast.
No, it was me. It was
Or
his
the brother.
brother.
Come from?
Absolutely the brother.
yeah.
I've been here. Come on, you're always so interested in Joffrey. I'm really the one that was charged with finding the artifacts of the Crusaders. See, he's just a tag along.
You know, I have a brother, and I want to let you know that maybe you shouldn't call him an idiot and things like that. That's what you should love each other. Yes, each moment
growth
will be your
happening.
last. Yes.
Well, I'll
Well,
stop
this is
calling him an idiot once we find these things and he proves himself to be of worth.
Well, that's an interesting philosophical question.
how do we know anyone's worth? Like yours, for example.
Well, the same goes for me too.
Dang it, you were
I do
supposed to be a
respect that.
hypocrite.
Look, it's this place. We've been here for many weeks now. It's getting to me. We have no leads. We found nothing thus far. I worry that the church has just sent us on a wild goose chase because of our family name.
That is the church.
Okay, sadly, possibly true. But that doesn't mean it's really a wild goose chase. They just
Well,
think it is.
My friend, this is why I keep on telling you. Your allegiance is not to the church. It is to the one true God, it's himself, herself.
true. But the family element of it is not lost on me. We share lineage with these Malevals that of old who live here. They're all undead, abominations, cursed. It's hard to shake the feeling that my brother and I aren't also cursed, Leslie. Is this our fate?
You mortals seem to be caught up in rigid definitions and rules, right? But us elves, us fairy types, we reinvent ourselves every 20 or 30 years. I was a peacock farmer and then a bandit and a poet and a member of the court, a soldier, an adventurer. Ravos, I'm sure, has already gone through a few. He's only 50, but still.
This is my second. This is day one of the new life as an adventurer.
What were you before, Ravos?
I lived at home with my parents
Oh.
and did nothing.
The new generation.
I do not know what it is like to have a brother. I am an only child.
That tracks. But all I would say to you is you can, and speaking to the brother, the priest, is you can change yourself. You can change the history. You don't have to be committed to all of this, right? You choose your actions. Go farm peacocks.
You are just as in the bag as I am, but you preach of happiness and joy. What brings you to drink so heavily? Oh, stand back.
That's right. I forgot I'm trying. Go farm peacocks. That's right.
It's so strange.
He said farm peacocks is what he said. Farm.
I can't take this guy seriously.
I'm stumbling all over the place.
Which one of your lives caused your skin to become purple?
Ooh, the most recent one. I blame these folk, actually. Yeah. Be careful with the mushrooms. That's all I have to say.
Let's say this conversation takes another turn.
Oh no. I'm happy
I am-
that we're outside without light. going on.
Joffrey's gonna head to the
Golly.
door and listen.
Okay. So you head to the door. Go ahead and give me a listen check. D6.
Oh, Joffrey was deleted. Oh wait, no, it's right there. Sorry. Which one?
You were looking for Geoffrey? No.
Just D6.
D6. Okay. Four.
Okay. You don't hear anything on the other side. As you're looking in, there is, you still got daylight filtering in through the archway, and you could see that that muddy path basically enters in here and goes straight through this archway over here into another courtyard.
Okay, let's head in, everybody. And Joffrey will walk.
So you walk through this 10-foot wide hallway, and you can see there is a wooden door on either side, and then you step into the northern courtyard here.
And the tracks, do they lead out to?
Yeah, they come out into this courtyard. And you can see that they run through to this door over here, which is open. But inside the courtyard, you can imagine with your mind's eye that this is once a beautiful inner garden, but now it's just totally overgrown by hardy weeds and dilapidated like statuary and rubble all throughout. On this side of the great spire, there's just like on the southern one, there's a number of platforms about 20 feet up that have a number of statues. Most of them look like they probably depicted noble elves and princesses, but they're all very weathered and defaced. Like they're almost indistinguishable from just like a pillar or something like that. They just don't really have their detail anymore, except for two of them. One which appears to be a human knight, and you can see this because he is still very well detailed, and the ears are a dead giveaway. But there is one flaw with him: his right arm is broken off. And the second statue that is still intact depicts an elven princess.
Look, brother, maybe some of our relatives, and he'll head over to where the statue with the human statue with the broken arm. See if there's anything interesting there.
Alex, while he's doing that as well, do either of us recognize the human and the elf princess from our experience with the previous like temple area, the barrows?
There's no denying that there is an impeccable resemblance to Sir Chide and Princess Snowfall at Dawn. Was that it?
And we met her too. She was the Winter's daughter, right?
Yeah, she was the Cold Prince's daughter.
Yeah. I won't say anything because I know Geoffrey's exploring, so let him explore a bit, but processing.
So, Geoffrey, you go over to the human statue, and you're maybe looking about to see if you could find the arm. It is not here. Kind of search around in the weeds nearby and such, and you just no sign of it.
Is there a name on the statue or a
There-
plaque or anything?
No name, no plaque, no. Although, have you adventured? Yeah, Geoffrey the Lesser, I'm pretty sure, was with the other Geoffrey. So you might note that the sword that this knight has at its hilt bears a striking resemblance to that one that was carried by that other knight, the brother of Friar Fitzpatrick.
Mhm.
How about the rest of you? Anything that you are doing here in the courtyard?
I think I would pull up to Lillibeth and just pick Lillibeth.
Hmm?
These statues, they look familiar to me, right? That this is the Sir Chide and the princess
I
whom we
think that-
met.
Yes.
Seems odd to me they would make like a statue, right? Especially of the Sir Chide. Like, surely there was bad blood on one side or the other. I mean, I guess the Cold Prince would not be a fan of this, right?
No. No, but if you were going to, I mean, they kept the statue of the Cold Prince in the other courtyard. They didn't remove that.
Yeah. I guess there's could have it inherited from the Gold Prince and then built the statues later.
Yeah, so they
Still.
could have. Yeah, so I mean, nothing like keeping you away from your true love forever. This could be a way to mock them both and be able to watch it for all time, at least while you're living in the house.
It should be noted
That's
that
catty.
the elven princess is over here, and the knight is apart.
Ah, okay. Maybe you're
They-
right. Maybe it was sort of a mockery of some sort. but still seems unusual. We should investigate.
I agree. I'd certainly prefer investigating this to going any further into following a 10-foot big monster into a building.
As you go to check out, you want to check out the elven statue, apart from where Geoffrey is. So the elven maiden, who of course looks like a princess that you were acquainted with, has sort of a shy but kind of flirtatious look on her face, and like her lips are pursed and her eyes are closed.
How high up is this statue? Is it like a 10-foot statue, big statue, or a
Well, yeah, we'll say about like
proportional?
8 feet tall.
So it'd be difficult to get up there and like kiss the statue, right?
A little bit of effort. There's a little bit of a pedestal that it is standing on, and so like you could climb up and then, you know.
I would only do it if it were like casual. I'm not gonna like climb up and like grab it, you know. But the thought crosses Silver's mind, be like, it'd be funny to kiss it. So is there anything around? I'm curious if there's like a plaque or any kind of description or any kind of inscription relief.
There isn't. And you haven't noticed that on any of these statues out here that circle the spire.
Okay. Curious. But we have bigger fish to fry.
I would I think I would go and move over to Ravos while I'm kind of searching through my prayer cards for the right one, and I'd kind of just put it aside. But I would look up and I'd point to that statue and go, Ravos, you see that elven maiden there? A
Yeah, she
princess?
kind of looks like my grandmother.
Oh.
It's totally not. Totally not.
Sure. I hope not, because my brother fell in love with her.
What if Ravos is Sir Joffrey's grandchild?
I'm a half elf.
Either way,
Don't think they have
no.
half-elves.
But no, he ran into the forest after there was this whole thing. It was a whole thing, indeed, yes. But either way, yes, it's quite odd. I mean, well, maybe not. But it is interesting that these two statues are here.
I'm going to walk over to you while you're talking to him, and just so I can get a closer look at the statue, and I'm not going to pay any attention to you, but I am going to look. I mean, actually, you're talking to Ravos. I'm going to go over to Geoffrey's side and look at the statue that you're standing by. You wouldn't know to look for this because you haven't looked at the princess's statue yet, but we have, and so I'm looking to see what is Sir Chide's face doing. So I'm going to get really up into his face, on my tiptoes. Not that short, but I'm not 8 feet tall. So what do I see?
It looks like he is. It looks like his position, like I said, his arm is broken off, but like likely it kind of looks like he was maybe holding his hand upright, and like his lips are pursed as well, as if he was reaching up to try to make contact with the other statue, but he is not on a pedestal. I think maybe Winston, you might be chatting with us, but you might be muted.
I was muted. Sorry. This is one of my favorite moments of any tabletop game, where there's just some scenery that's been described to us, and we spend an hour exploring it because we
Yeah,
think there's a
it's
puzzle
so
or a
important.
secret.
It's been multiple. we
I
have
mean, maybe there is a
multiple
puzzle
sessions.
here, but it's like, what about if I touch the statue's hand and like shake its hand? Does that do anything? Okay, so I have a question. Are the statues like facing each other, where like, it looks like if we like push them together, they would kiss?
Kind of, except for the fact that they wouldn't meet. Like, she's on a pedestal, so she's like a clear
Right.
2 feet ahead of him.
Yeah.
I mean, based on what you
Got it.
know, this probably seems like a mockery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it. I was just
This
curious.
just, to me, this just confirms it that this is keeping young love eternally separated or some such nonsense. Is there, okay, do we see anything else sort of like other than the statues in the vicinity of the statues?
There's a
Or is
set
it
of
just made-
double doors that head into the eastern wing, but your muddy path to finding the eyes seems to lead you over to this doorway.
Well, we
One moment before we move any further. I did find the correct prayer card. I think we might all need to gather around for a quick prayer before we move forward.
okay.
God.
Hey, I can hear
Pretend that
you.
I was talking. I was talking to God. I said, "Oh God."
Oh,
Oh, you were
God.
going to start this off. Would you like to start it off? Would you like to? Here's the
I'm
prayer
good.
card. This is yes, no. Oh, okay.
Okay. This is not my lifetime as a man of the cloth.
Okay, sure. Could be. It doesn't matter. Either way, we are going to pray today to Saint Godwin. You see, we pray to the saints so that they may pray to the one true God. So our prayers are heard. One true God is very busy. Apparently, it's fine. Either way, we are praying to Saint Godwin. Saint Godwin, he was a mere altar boy that stood up to a blasphemous knight that, well, he took the one true God's name in vain. He somehow thwarted him in the king's duel, the king's championship duel, and beat him. And we pray that, one true God, that you give us the strength as we move forward to face this champion of evil and to thwart them, and I guess get our friend's eyes back. I don't know. Either way, you know what I mean. Either way. And
You're
your
telling me
name,
there's
we
no
pray.
saint about collecting eyes. There's no
I-
eye collecting saint.
Not well. I hope not. I don't want to be that one. Most
You
of
might
them,
be that one.
most
We'll
of them are
collect the
monsters.
eyes.
No, my good
If you
friend.
collect the eyes,
No,
then you can become the
I don't
saint
want.
of lost eyes.
No,
Okay,
I've met
I'm
saints,
getting
but
antsy. I'm
not.
getting antsy.
Either way, amen. Everyone, please say amen. It doesn't.
Amen.
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 Oh, good. Oh yeah.
Amen.
And you
Yeah.
feel, and you do feel a bit invigorated through my words. In fact, you all get, for the next 6 turns, you get a melee gain of a +1 to attack and +1 to damage rolls,
Wow.
as
Wow.
well as a +1 bonus to morale, if that matters. But everyone in the party, yes,
It'll matter to your cleric.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm gonna mark down another turn. Like, you've been here for 30 minutes, and now your clock is starting on your bless as you end that. So what would you all like, now that you are blessed by the one true God? What would you like to do?
Let's go in. Let's start chasing the tracks.
All right.
I'll take the front. Me and Geoffrey at the front.
So Silver and Geoffrey are front rank. Second rank,
I'll go in second.
Ravos.
Let them show me how it's done.
I'm in the back.
I'm in the
Uh,
back too.
Okay, we'll put Ambrosius then in the second rank. Perfect. So, as you enter back into the hallway or into the castle, you see the corridor runs from north to south. Seems like it turns at a 90-degree angle just to the south there. And there are a set of stone doors in archways right in front of you. It seems like 4. They're spaced out very evenly. And the muddy track goes right through the one in front of you, like underneath it. But of course, there are other doors and such that you can see to the north and everything like that. But
Shall we keep following the tracks, Silver?
Yep. I think with this set, we're invigorated. We're blessed by Saint Godwin. I think it's time to like beeline into this.
all right, someone
We'll be
wishes
careful, but
someone wishes to open the door,
I'll open it.
and you open it up. It's not too bad. It is a little jarring because when you open it up, there's just this blast of like sauna air that kind of comes out. So very humid. There's like kind of a vapor that comes out, and it's actually the water that fills the pool in the middle of the chamber in front of you is a very almost unnatural azure blue, and it seems that there must be some heat that is rising up out of that pool. There's sort of a haze within the entirety of the chamber, and within the vapor, you can see these green serpentine shapes that kind of whirl about, hissing, flying with grace. They're not hostile necessarily. It's just, and they're not really like directing attention onto you. It's just that they are swimming about, and some of them are kind of playfully chasing one another and things like that. It's hard for you to tell whether they're actual real beings or if they're almost like phantoms on the air. Because it's just so hazy in this room that it's hard to depict that. The pool itself seems to be fed by water that is being poured out of the mouth of a statue on the northern side, where you can see the little star statue symbol. That statue depicts a serpentine creature that is coiled around a vase, and then at the head is the serpent face that is pouring like a fountain, water into the pool. Above, there is light in here. You don't need torches or anything because there's a glass, like a stained glass dome at the top, and it's daylight outside, so there's light that's filtering down into this room. But you're looking at the muddy tracks, and it looks like they went into the water or the pool, and then exited out the pool and went to the south, where there's another set of like 4 stone doors.
Does it look any cleaner on the other side? Like the water did anything?
No, it's still just like muddy and wretched. Now the pool itself is clean. Like it is still this azure blue. Like if it had like soiled anything into the water, like it seems like whatever wretched thing came through here did not taint the purity of that water.
How odd.
Yeah. I'm just caught up on like the pouring from the fountain. I just immediately think of the Butthole Surfers song, like pouring like an avalanche from the fountain or whatever the hell. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Come on.
You should sing a little bit. How's it go?
Yeah, it had a little bit of that like that like rhythm. But anyways,
I'm
So do we
tempted
see
to
any,
just
like,
pull up Spotify and start playing it?
That's it. The rest of the night, we just play. We're like 80s dance party,
Boring. Like,
90s dance party. Anyways, yeah. So are there muddy tracks anywhere else? Like anything indicates like a pathway?
No, it looks like it took a dip in this pool and then it headed to the south.
Okay.
Didn't deviate or go exploring at all.
I think seeing that Joffrey would just be, well, I mean, if there's nothing else in here, I'm not going to touch that water. And
I mean-
he's gonna walk towards the door where the
My
creature.
temptation is to like touch stuff and
Very
see what
good.
happens.
Very
but-
good.
I'm not
You-
touching
you're right.
anything out there.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, come on. This is our last session. We just got to get to these fucking eyes. Let's go.
All right. Opening, not dilly-dallying in this room at all, just going through the door and heading back out.
Are they following us?
Follow
The serpents, are they following that?
Nope, because you would have to skirt around the edge, so you never really enter into their proximity. It doesn't seem they never really turn their attention to you. Good. And so you exit out the southern. Well, now here you're gonna start to need lantern light or torch light.
All right, I will light a torch.
Good, because I spent all my money on weapons and armor, so
Good. No, I'll
torch
light the
was
torch.
not in my radar.
I have a little sling, so I'm good.
So you get
We
the
use
torch out.
torches every session, like at least.
Yep, they're very crucial in old school.
Yeah.
So you've got your torch laid out. So Friar Fitzpatrick, you got a hand on that. Are you moving through the halls, like being careful, checking for traps, looking for stuff, or are you just like?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, we're gonna make a beeline to follow the path, but we're gonna be careful. Like, we're
Okay.
gonna double check stuff, like poke things. You know, we're not running. We're not dashing through. You know.
Could I mention at least that how odd that it chose to go through that fountain? That you said that there was a creature you found. It looked a bit like a what is that? It was like a with teeth.
it was a
Lamprey?
head with lots of round teeth, like
Lamprey.
lamprey.
Oh, what is that? Is that a land creature? A water creature? What is?
Water creature?
I thought it was water, but like
Oh,
growth
how odd.
water, like a leech.
Well, it
Mhm.
seemed to make a point to go through the water.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe drying it out might do something.
Right. This could be one of the creatures from the lake.
Oh no, I hope not.
Mm.
Is it big juke?
No.
It's mini. It's a little juke. Us juke heads, though. We know we're into the juke.
So we are cautiously and deliberately making our way, following the tracks and talking about big and little chook.
Mm-hmm.
And what do lampreys look like?
And in mini juke, there's a
mini
mini juke speculation. Well, maybe the lamprey was a mini juke. Yeah. So I think basically, Alex, for your like understanding, is like we're not being distracted by all the cool shit in this castle. Instead, we're moving straight towards the eyeballs,
Yeah,
but we are being careful. Like, we're not rushing.
Got
Maybe
it.
anything of note we would probably mark down for don't touch
Mhm.
later type.
Yeah. So
You just put post-it notes out, like don't touch.
so
Touch
basically,
later.
for the next turn, so a turn passes.
Sure.
And you are following the hallways, and you're going to get to this area where to the left you're going to see that. I hate the way that they did the arrows on this map. So those arrows are coming down from the upper floor. So these are stairways. This is a stairway that goes up.
Okay.
Oh, got it.
This has confused me like the entire time I've been reading this map, is that the arrows being coming
Oh.
from, not going to. So these are
Weird.
this goes to like a second floor, but the muddy prints that you are following go through the room that you see up ahead. You'd have to continue forward to see much more, because actually you only have 30. I think it's only 30 feet
Right.
with the torch. But I presume continuing to move cautiously forward towards the mud, and you'll come into this area that would appear to be, maybe it once belonged to a hunter or something like that, because all around the room you see various trophies, many of them in kind of a state of disrepair or disarray, just these taxidermied animals. Like there's a deer, there's a bear, there's a lion, a number of birds, but a lot of them are just like the stuffing is like kind of fallen out, or they're ripped. Many of them not doing so well. They're glass, but all of them, their glassy stares are all pointed in the direction what you're coming from. So there's like an eeriness to it, which is probably accentuated by the fact that they all look gnarly and like just gross. There's also prominently featured, where the columns are, or where the little dots are on the map, there are 4 statues there that stand on tall columns. Each one is an ape-faced creature with deep holes for eyes. And then, maybe like the strangest thing of all, is that there is a throne that has a big stag horn like on the top of it. And sitting on the throne is a figure that's completely encased in plate mail armor. The helmet is notable. It has kind of an austere design with just a simple horizontal slit for a visor.
Oh, Alex, you had to describe cool looking armor. Like that's my trap. I'm gonna go up to look at it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll go.
I'm like really mad at myself right now for saying I wasn't gonna touch anything.
Me and
You can.
Ravos, we are looking at this helmet and we're like, can we detach that?
Okay.
helmet?
So I'll grab kind of intent from everybody. So Silver and Ravos, the two of you are going over by the throne.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm-
gonna touch it, but I will
Okay.
watch. it.
I'm by the
We're
phone
elves.
as well.
We appreciate aesthetic.
Oh,
Okay, that's an important part.
Joffrey, you're going over there too?
Yep.
How about...
I'm gonna.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I would be really intrigued by all of the trophies on the wall and their really dilapidated condition. And I'm freaked out by the eyes, always. But I've learned my lesson. I'm holding back.
So you're inspecting kind of the taxidermied animals and Friar.
I am gonna stay back with Lillibeth. I'll be ready if anything kind of happens, but I am staying back, keeping
Okay.
my lantern. I guess if they're kind of stopping and looking, I will just kind of search around the room, look up, down, see if there's anything else we missed, but not spending much time other than what they're spending.
Okay. Maybe entering into like the center of the room so that you can give everybody that's looking at things enough light
Sure.
that they can see. And I think Ambrosius is probably going to stick kind of near where you're at, Fitzpatrick. All right. So those of you that are going to check out the armor, probably the first thing, at least Silver, like possibly Ravos would notice this as well, is that this is pure iron armor.
Oh,
So it is,
Damn, the cheap shit.
well,
Bad
it's
news for us.
Bad news for elves, because you'd be allergic to it.
Yeah. It looks quite nice though. But pure iron, how gauche.
Now, the next thing that you'll notice is that the gauntlets seem as if they are latched to the throne, as are the greaves.
Like as if we like pulled it, it would like a little lever type latch, or like they're like latched, like stuck to it.
Like
He's strapped
they,
down.
there are iron straps. Like the gauntlet was
Okay.
designed to bolt to this throne.
Got it. Like a miniature, like where it was like the gauntlet's already attached. Like you're just like, okay, interesting. Ravos, what do you make of that? Do you think there's maybe a mechanism to it, or just shoddy craftsmanship?
Probably both. I mean, they used iron, so shoddy craftsmanship's not ever out of the question.
Also, an interesting choice for the Cold Prince's domain, right? Alex, this armor, and this is maybe like a history kind of thing, but like whatever. Does armor look like modern armor? Does it look like it's an ancient armor? Any way for us to tell? Like if this seems like it was, what I'm trying to ascertain is, do I suspect this may have been built after the Cold Prince, or was it during the Cold Prince's ownership?
This armor probably dates back about 900, 800, 900 years ago. So it would be from the like waning year, like the years of the war.
Got it. Okay.
And suddenly the armor like kind of moves, like it like
Yeah, I knew
jolts,
it.
and
I
you
knew
hear
it.
this like breath, like this strained breath says, "You help, please
I apologize for saying your armor was cheap shit.
help
And
me.
then I get out.
I am like you. Get me out of this."
When you say like us, do you mean elvish?
Yes.
Fairy? All right, I'm gonna take my sword and I'm gonna try to like see if I can like lift the helmet off with the sword.
Sure.
You're gonna put the tip of your sword like in the little eye visor. Hope that it doesn't kill him.
No, this, you do that, and you manage to like use it to give yourself a lever to like pull it off safely.
Mm-hmm.
And what you see is an elvish face, but it is just boiled, like the flesh is just about melted off of its face. It's bald, like there's just a few strands of hair there, and it's like, like these look like third-degree burns. And there is this elf who is there and just looking up at you like pleadingly. The rest of it, please.
I'm gonna call the two friars over.
Yes, please. We are here to help, my friend. We will get this off you. What is your name? Please, just focus. What is your name? As I begin to...
He struggles a bit, but he says, "My name, Willow Slow Freezing."
Oh. I look back at the elves. No, doesn't. How did you
said
get here?
his name is Willow Slow Freezing?
Yes. So this is the naming convention, just like silver upon his brow. That's
Yeah.
the naming convention of Dolmenwood elves.
And
It sucks that his name wasn't Slow Burning.
No.
brutal?
No.
Is this clearly a cold elf or
Yep, this is a frost elf
frost elf?
name.
Yeah. And is that? I mean, I know he's scarred, but is it like this is obviously a frost elf, right?
It isn't obvious, actually. Like the
Oh.
the name is the only giveaway because he is so badly marred that you can't even see like the blue tint of his flesh.
Yeah. Oof. Terrible.
Oh, and he is.
Okay.
Oh,
So
How did you get
Either way.
here?
I'll continue to help while the questioning is.
like this, he's barely able to even get out his name. Like this is such torment that it has endured that it seems he's not able to process your question just now. And Friar, you begin, this is, about plate armor, like this is quite the process to take off. So it hurts your soul that this guy is like in pain, and there's the element of time is just what it is. And he's just desperate and pleading.
Him.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll help since I have experience with armor. So.
Oh yes, please.
So while the two of you are doing that, Lillibeth, you're looking about the room at the taxidermied creatures. Most of them, like I said, not in great states, but there are a couple that seem to be still fairly well preserved. And that would be, let me just pull up. One is this like kind of younger deer. Like it's not a full grown buck, but like a young doeling. One is a lion, a boar, and one of the giant owls that sits up on a perch seems to be still in a pretty well preserved state.
No goats.
And I think, should we take maybe like a 5-10 minute break? Because it looks like Winston and Isaac maybe stepped away. So why don't we do that? Take a little bio break. When we come back, we will see what happens with this poor elf and see where this journey takes us. So thanks everyone for sticking it out with us. We'll be right back.
We're trying to find some fucking eyes, man.
Oh, eyes.
Well, some eyes are about to maybe find us, so.
When I find those eyes, I'm going to put them on my face like this.
Oh my god.
That was the
I'm gonna
perfect
do
time to click
some
in.
Great stuff.
Everyone just saw, yee! So speaking of eyes, let's get to the eyes, because Lillibeth is looking at these taxidermied animals all about the room, while Friar Fitzpatrick and Geoffrey are trying to remove the plate mail, this pure iron plate mail that has been essentially put here as a torture device and encased a frost elf within it. They're trying to, through his pained gasps, try to relieve him of a little bit of that torture that he's enduring. But Lillibeth, as you're looking at these taxidermied animals, the best maintained ones in the room, you watch as all of their eyes, just for a moment, kind of flicker red and pierce through the dim shadows of the room, and then they just like melt away and turn into little globules of blood that start to like pour down and soak into their fur, and they animate. And I'm going to say, because you were inspecting them, that there is no surprise round here. You can alert the party to what is about to descend upon them, and we're going to roll initiative. So,
Oh, hell to the no.
Lillibeth.
So, Lillibeth, yeah.
You're going to be our caller, so you're going to roll our D6. So I'm going to explain this just because I know, Nick, this is your first time playing OSC. So what we have is essentially group initiative, and we roll a D6 every turn to see which side goes first. So we're going to have Moreen and myself will roll a D6. If the other thing that you need to know is that if you wish to cast a spell, you have to say so before this die gets rolled.
Mm-hmm.
Because that matters. If you get hit and you take damage while you're casting a spell, your spell is interrupted and you lose it.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Nick, too, like, this is group initiative. If you've never played it, I think is superior. It's so much snappier. It's so good. I can't wait.
But initiative is extremely important.
Yeah, it makes it super important.
Sad to tell you, I rolled a 6.
Of course you did.
Of course you did.
Do we have any?
You learned the hard
rerolls?
way, Nick.
There are no player
If
rerolls.
we use our player reroll. Okay, well then,
Try
do
it
I
out.
just
Just roll it and just say, "Oh, I rolled a 6-2. What a coincidence!"
I did. There is a 2 in there, but it's not the 6-2. At
And
least it's not a 1.
I rolled a 2-6, Alex.
I've got this freshly sealed D20 I picked up from Gen Con, so we're gonna crack that open.
That looks beautiful.
Sealed the crits in it, I'm sure.
looks
Can you hold it up?
really
That looks a little.
adorable.
That's a little big. That's a big.
a big
is
boy.
it
They
a
all
big boy?
say 20.
Oh, it's beautiful.
They all say 20, yeah. I see Adrian is attempting to redeem a player reroll for the group. I'm gonna go ahead and reject that one.
I can't do that, unfortunately.
Oh, but
Maybe slip under the radar.
but Bruno did.
but
Bruno,
Dawson's
though.
here. Dawson's here.
Yay,
legit, yeah.
Dawson.
Bubba.
Thank you.
So you got one. So, all right. So we've got a giant owl, a boar, a lion, and a killer Bambi. It's literally its name. It's the killer Bambi.
The killer
So-
Bambi.
The giant.
Gavin, did Gavin write that one?
No, this would have been whoever wrote Castle Xyntillan, who I've been
Okay.
informed is a terrible person, and
Oh, that's right.
maybe
Yeah, saw that
I
on
wouldn't have
YouTube.
run this if I would have known that. But oh well. Well, here we are. Whatever.
You know what? Separate the art from the artist.
Yes,
Come on. Let's
that's
go.
what we're doing. So the owl is going to swoop down and try to hit Lillibeth. And I rolled a... Oh, shit. It's either a 20 or it's a 1. It's a nat 1.
Probably a 1.
So,
yeah.
so
Thank you.
What is the difference? What is it? What is it?
the 1 is a skull. I don't know if
Okay.
you can see it really with my lighting there.
Yes.
Oh, there
nice.
it is.
Oh.
There it
Yeah.
is. It's
Okay,
a
okay.
cute
See it.
skull. It's a cute skull.
The 20 is just literally like a 20.
Okay.
That's
Special
a
20.
that's a Gen Con special.
I got it because Brett, who you know, wanted me to
Mhm.
pick him up a shoulder strap and some other things from the Gen Con store, and I was waiting in this line for. There's something was going on with like their credit card machine. I was like, I didn't really feel like I was waiting there that long, but they were like, "Thank you for your patience. Here's some free dice." I'm like, "Okay, cool, thank you."
That was the correct decision to take it.
So thanks,
Also,
Brett.
I miss Brett. Get Brett's fucking ass back here. Come on, let's go. Get him
We
in.
had a long conversation when I gave him the stuff back. So yeah, if we need to get him in a game again.
Is it
I
gonna
legit
go-
miss him. Come
this
on, I
dice
met him
is
in
always
person.
Gonna roll
Anyway,
a 1. Here we go.
The next one is the boar is going to come charging at Friar Fitzpatrick as you're undoing like the gauntlets or whatever.
Yeah, were you distracted? We're distracted.
No, it's not a surprise.
The the elf alerts you to the fact that this boar is about to charge. He says, "Dodge, move!" And you manage to move out of the way just in time. He misses you.
God.
The next one is coming
Cool.
towards Silver. This is the lion. Is going to try
this
to
will be the
leap
one
up
that
and pounce at you.
crits me.
Yeah, highest damage a lion.
Probably not with your armor class.
I am injured. So keep in mind. What you got?
That one's an 11, so that'll miss.
That misses.
And the killer Bambi is gonna go for Geoffrey the Lesser.
Uh-oh.
And
Brett.
we're just gonna throw this away because that's no good.
Oh,
It missed
no,
all
no,
of
keep
it.
it. I love it. Thank you, Brett.
All right. So party's turn. First we do movement. So does anybody wish to reposition themselves from where they are at? Those of you that got attacked are either you're already in melee
You're
with
right on
something.
it. Yeah.
I mean,
No
I'll
movement.
move closer for melee range.
Which thing would you like to move up
I
to?
want to go towards Killer Bambi.
Bambi. Okay.
Good choice.
And I'm gonna say the priest will move up to the Bambi as well. Try to help his brother out. Okay, and
Oh, he's a hypocrite.
then ranged attacks. We don't have any ranged attacks that would be plausible here, so we'll go into melee. We'll go left to right. So we'll start with Geoffrey the Lesser.
Just a reminder, we had a break. Everyone gets a +1 to attack,
Yep.
+1 to damage.
So Joffrey's up first.
Joffrey's up first.
Killer Bambi, right?
Ooh,
Yes.
I hit it.
I'm not sure. What did you have?
Oh, a 5.
5 will miss.
Almost. You almost got it.
No.
It just says hits AC 5 with exclamation. I
That
thought it
plus
was.
1 was really close. It almost got you there.
All right, Silver.
You have to focus. Don't get scared.
So my founder's chugging a bit, but I'm gonna roll. Let's see if this plays. If not, I'll go with my dice. I think it's good though.
We all suck. You got a 2 in case you didn't.
I rolled. Yeah, Alex. No, hold on. It's a plus 1. Does a 3 hit? The
3
launch?
does not hit.
Damn
Lillibeth.
it.
Okay. Oh, let me just do it this way. I'm using the Morning Star. Oh, a 5 does not hit.
Okay, that does not hit. Friar Fitzpatrick.
All right, I'm bringing out. I rarely use it, but it is the. It is a mace. My brother and I both have it. It has the crest of our family on it. And I'm bringing it out from my side. Ooh, a 15 to hit.
This is the boar that hits.
Great. So that's going to be a D6. Ah. You
Kill,
stab
kill,
one.
kill.
I do not feel bad hitting you, boy. I am sorry. But
Well, eat him
you're-
afterwards. It'll be a total like.
No, it was taxidermied. You fool. You sound drunk.
You throw it. We'll eat the boar. Let's throw it over the fire.
5 for damage.
5 for damage. It is still up, but you could just feel it kind of hit the side of the boar, and there's like kind of this crunching noise as it impacts the frame of
It
the
is
thing.
not the boar. It is not these animals. It's an evil spirit inside of them.
Ravos.
Okay, I got a question. So I know I have the +1, but do I also have my +2 for my strength modifier as well?
Yeah, if you got
Yeah,
a strength
so I-
modifier, you
so I-
apply it to this.
So I have 3 total. Okay.
That's some hefty strength.
That's great.
You're a beefy. elf.
No.
Does an 8 hit Killer Bambi?
It does not.
Is
Oh,
it less than a door? That's the question.
And then a strike with I'm not gonna spend the time to check the dude's like inventory. I'm gonna say he has a mace, so he's gonna swing with
Sure.
a mace.
it's a D6.
Yeah.
Plus D6 to the.
No. I'm saying it's a D6 damage.
Oh, gotcha. But he has a +1 from your bless, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
It does.
so AC 12, he's gonna
He's
hit.
a believer.
He is very much a believer. And this was the Bambi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Kill the Bambi.
so he
Plus 1 damage
does
as well.
3 points of damage to the Bambi. It is still up.
Mm.
Ooh, Bambi gets a mace right to the head.
All right.
And the Bambi becomes inexplicably angered, and all the creatures are angered at the NPC
He goes,
character.
"Where's my mom?"
Oh no!
All right. Initiative roll.
Come on,
Come on.
Maureen.
Come on,
Sit.
Moreen.
Okay.
I got a
Please.
3.
Hang on. 5.
All right.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Party's up first. Any change in movement?
Nope.
No ranged. Melee. This time we'll start on the opposite side. So we'll start with Ravos.
Okay, I'm gonna do the same exact thing. Oh Jesus! I miss.
Miss. Friar Fitzpatrick.
A 13 to hit.
And
That
this
hits.
is the boar
The
that
boar,
hits.
yes. All right,
Hits.
so it will be 3 points of damage.
That's enough to take it
Aha!
down.
Yes.
Yes. Ah. Now
All these
now
years in
it-
my parents' basement are really coming to kick me in the
Yeah,
ass.
you're like...
Now where's my sling?
Lillibeth.
Okay, I'm still aiming at the owl.
Ooh.
I think that will hit, and then I forgot to put in the modifier.
That's
sorry.
a crit, right?
Yeah, did you roll?
Yeah.
Was it a natural
Oh,
20?
it's total. Yep, it's natural 20,
Okay, then you'll do the maximum damage that you can.
Yes.
which would be 6,
Six.
right?
It's just 6 or 7.
Oh, that's right, because I have +1 damage.
Yep.
7.
So 7 to the giant owl. It goes down.
Nice.
Woo!
Nice.
Who?
Hoo, hoo. Silver.
All right, here we go. Alfheim. I roll one more time on the platform. What I roll?
Looks like a 2.
Damn it.
This is on the lion, so that
It literally
misses.
was 20 right there for a second, and then it fell back.
All right.
I'm switching to physical dice. Fuck this.
Joffrey's got the Bambi.
Here we go.
Hits a crit. Right? That was a
Heck,
natural 20,
yeah.
it looked like. So
Yeah.
Nice.
Bambi goes down. So there's only the lion left.
Joffrey, what's your like slaying line? What's your like Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liner for the Bambi?
Oh my god. I gotta think about that one. Oh, Bambi.
Just say whatever pops in your brain. Doesn't matter if it's cool. Just make it sound cool.
I ate your mother.
There you go. Boom.
You'll see
No.
your mother in hell.
Ambrosius isn't in melee with anything anymore, so we'll go to the lion's turn. Lions are trying to attack Silver. Nat 1. Fuck. All right, initiative roll.
Yeah, I have more than that.
Come on, Moreen.
Okay, hang on just a second.
5.
Trying them all out.
Think about
6.
poor
6.
Silver.
So any change in movement, I think Ambrosius will move over to the lion.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
I'll
gonna
move
line
over to the
and,
left.
Everyone's
I'll move
Can I-
over to the lion.
Can I
Hi.
attack first, Alex?
I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move away. I'm gonna try wherever the enemies are. I'm gonna take a step back.
okay. So are you switching to sling?
Yes.
All right. Let's do the sling attack. Arranged.
I'm gonna go for the line. Right? Is that what's left?
That's what's left.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
There we are. Do not worry, Silver. God
feels
is on our
biblical.
side. The one true God is on our side.
Slinging at a lion.
A
With the
6.
Christian
No, a
undertone.
17 to hit.
17 hits.
4. 4.
4 points of damage to the lion. It is still up. Silver, go ahead and take the first of the melee.
All right, I'm gonna roll on Foundry because surely the third time, right?
Okay.
Surely the third time. You fucking shit. So it's gonna be a
Sorry.
12 plus. My Foundry's chugging. Let me roll.
Yeah.
14,
14 hits.
and then plus. So it's a 5 plus 1, right? Because of the plus. Or is that only
Yes.
on the attack
No,
roll?
Yeah, you're
Nope,
right.
it's both.
six
Attack and damage. Yes.
So
Attack and
6.
damage.
6 damage.
Is it
This-
undead?
You don't know.
It's taxidermy. There's no.
But because I'm
It
not calling
cannot
for
be
extra
alive,
damage,
so therefore
probably
It
not.
must be undead.
Probably not.
Fair enough.
Marine, Lillibeth's turn. This one's got a
Oh,
bit more
okay.
hit points than the others.
Okay, then I'm gonna actually so I don't smack somebody accidentally. I'm gonna switch to spear, and I'm going to use melee so I can, like I said, control it. No, I'm slowing. Does 8?
8 misses. Ravos.
Cool. I'll swing on it. I miss.
Joffrey.
I haven't hit anything yet.
Ambrosius misses.
That is a
10 misses. 11 misses. All right. Initiative roll then.
Hold on. Were you you hadn't done your turn yet?
Oh, yes, you guys won that one. You're right. So Lion attacks Silver. And misses.
Yes.
All right. Initiative roll. I got a 3.
Come on, Moreen. You can be a 3.
Come on,
Statistically speaking,
Moreen.
I can totally not beat a 3.
statistically, the expected outcome is 3.5.
2. All right.
Oh,
Lion, try to get a big chunk out of Silver. Come on. All right, there we go. That's
no!
18 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Oh, and I've been doing this wrong. He has multi-attack.
Oh, great.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, thank
No.
goodness.
Well, you
did
got
it wrong.
freebies. You got a bunch of freebies, so that's good. So this is the bite. So the bite does 4 points of damage,
You gotta use that
Okay.
Gen Con.
but he's also
Nice.
got 2 claws.
What? What the fuck?
1 claw
I'm so
misses.
sorry.
New claws?
Reroll is too late.
21 will hit.
Oh my.
Just a little barely, just maybe a little.
Additional
tiny bit.
point of damage.
1.
How many?
1 point.
Okay.
All right, and then player's turn. Any change in movement?
Nope.
All right.
Here we are.
Oh, and Friar, remember close range. You get a +1 if you're in
Yes.
close range. So you're just a
Yes,
couple steps.
I am.
You have been
Yeah, I
okay.
am. I've been adding it for. It's only to attack, not for damage.
Correct.
but
Yep.
Yes, I have been doing that. Thank you.
All right. Let Ravos get the first melee attack.
Yes. I am not going to be able to hit it. I got a 3 to hit.
All right.
Close, but not quite.
Switch to melee. Ravos.
Silva, no.
Do it, Ravos.
Does 15 hit?
15
yeah.
hits.
Oh
Okay, so
yeah.
finally. Okay, so 5 plus 2 plus 1, so I do 8 damage.
8 damage. All right. Still up.
Level 1.
That's
a little bit.
big hit, though.
Hell yeah.
Well, no.
That one will miss. Silver.
All right. Hold on. I'm going slow on Foundry, but here it comes.
Use your bow.
Ooh.
You rolled a 13, in case you didn't know.
13 should be a +1 though.
Yeah.
So 14 hits.
Yes.
+7. So 7 damage.
7
Oh.
damage. It
Come
is
on.
still.
No, I'm sorry. 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay, it's still up. Joffrey.
Finish it off, Geoffrey.
Come on, brother.
Look, you-
I mean,
eyes with you.
Joffrey.
I lock eyes with Joffrey, and I give him the
There we
nod.
go.
It hits.
All right, tell us how it goes.
Oh, I am going to just cut him in half, and I'm going to take his head, and I'm going to hang you in my house.
Awesome.
It's already been taxidermy too. You just like stick it up there.
I just
It's
yeah.
so easy.
No extra
There's no
work. done.
blood, no nothing.
Wait, so wasn't it
Go
like
up
a
the back.
full taxidermied lion? Like it was just sitting up there? It wasn't just like half a lion on the wall?
It would have been funnier if it was just the head that we're.
yeah.
Disembodied head. Yeah.
Like Prince Mononoke.
So we're gonna advance another turn here for the combat.
Do we take the elf? Did we get him out?
It'll take another turn to finish the job.
Yeah. Yes, it is important that we help this poor elf. Of course.
All right. So mark down another turn. How much time do we have left on the bless?
I believe that is our third turn or
I
our
th-
second.
I think it's the third.
We have 3 more
left.
turns
3 more.
left.
Okay.
Just
And I'll engage the father briefly. Just be like, oh, father, I notice you leapt into action to help this elf. Quite surprising for an adherent of the one true God.
my friend. It does not matter whether who they believe in. It does not matter. It's fey, mortal. You've taught me. You've taught me. You know, Silva.
Do you believe your God favors all living creatures then?
Of course they do. If
Mhm.
they did not, I could not believe
Well,
such a god.
well, I will join you in a
Oh.
prayer then, and
You're
I'll
all
grab his
good.
hand. Let's say a prayer for this elf who's been
Okay.
injured.
Yes.
Now,
And as you do,
is this conversation happening as you're still dismantling the plate mail, or is this after?
this is
Let's say after.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna say
let's hold
after.
on then,
okay.
because as the last piece, you
Uh-oh.
lift off the last like piece of the armor or whatever, and the inside
Uh-huh.
you'll see like he's been encased in this. He's naked underneath, and his entire body is just lesions, and like the flesh is just totally marred. And as the last piece comes off, he finally like stands with spaghetti legs. He just kind of wobbles forwards, and he takes like 2 steps and collapses like face forward down on the floor.
I'm gonna say that while we are before we begin to pray, I will turn around, kind of turn him over and give him some spirit theme to give him at least a 2d6. Would you like me to roll to see how many hit points he gets back?
Sure.
By the way, I will also eat my little thingy.
Hi. So he gets 2 hit points.
Awesome. So with that, you manage to like kind of help him to ingest it, and he get it in his mouth, and the healing effects seem to be enough to bring him to consciousness. And he just like holds up his hand to you, and he says, "Mortal, I can't understand why you would help me, but I thank you."
Yes,
Eh,
As we're praying, I'm sorry. Do you know the Cold Prince?
Yes, of course I do. He is my liege.
Currently, or he was?
He is. Though,
But he did this to you.
no. This was done to me by these trespassers that live here in his home.
The Malvoy?
Yes. They should not be here. This is an abomination that they are allowed to be here and disgrace these hallowed halls. I am a member of the Cold Prince's embassy that is still left here, remnant from the time when he lived here. We are feeling the effects of the creep, the Nag Lord. I came here hoping to find something of our king, something that maybe hadn't been cast away by these pretenders. But they caught
I'll
me.
kind of pull him up towards me and look at him and be like, so you say there's something here we could use against the Nag Lord? The Nag Lord has taken my hometown, my village, my city.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything that leads me to have much confidence in that, but I've been captured by a horrible man that goes by the name of the Huntsman. He seems to
But
have
listen,
taken delight in torturing me.
And I am sorry to hear that. I know that the mortals can be very confused sometimes about us and have, prejudice views. But I have to ask you, like, what were you looking for here? Is there something here you thought might exist, or you were just aimlessly wandering?
There were elves here when the castle was taken, and among them was the Nag Lord's, the Cold Prince's son. He had a blade he called Rhyme Blade. I had hoped that maybe it was still here. I wouldn't think that the Malvols would have sold or discarded such a powerful weapon.
Understood.
Yes, and you ask me, friend, about why I would help you, and you talk about prejudice. I am ashamed to say that I too held many prejudices about the Fae. I mean, one of our commandments in the church decreed that the Fae is evil. But my time with my friend here, Silva's, has opened my eyes. All creatures that are good deserve to live, hopefully in peace.
Well, we our kind are natural enemies, but on this day we are not. On this day there is something worse than old grievances. The Nag Lord grows in strength.
We are
Yes.
aware.
I'm sorry. Um, and he would look back. He would look back to Joffrey and to Ravos. Tell me, do you know of the Nag Lord?
I do not.
Well, I should tell you, this is the greatest adventure that we could possibly have, is to discover the Nag Lord's purpose and to slay him. And I should say too, Sir Joffrey or Sir Geoffrey or Geoffrey the Lesser,
Joffrey, it's Joffrey.
Joffrey the Worthless,
No,
No.
Joffrey the
that's his
subhuman
brother.
human lamprey.
I think you might be muted, Adrian.
Oh, sorry. Lesser.
The Lesser, that this is something that is a great offense to the mortal realm. And so I think Ravos and Geoffrey, we should be on board with discovering this entity and slaying it eventually.
Yes, he is a. It is a corrupt blight on anything. It twists good things and makes them evil.
And neither mortal nor fairy.
It's immune.
Correct. It is immune.
I have a feeling that the artifacts that we are looking for, we won't find it until possibly confronting this Nag Lord.
You
Very
would
well, I mean,
you would see that Ambrosius is standing before this door, looking at it.
Yes, brother. What's so interesting about that door?
I don't know, but I feel it in my gut, my heart, whatever it is that the one true God is using to direct me to this door. I can't help but feel compelled to open it, but after having been given such a great lecture by your good friar here, I is staying my hand.
You have to understand that any kind of urges that you may feel may be coming now from this entity. You can't just go wandering off. And by the way, are the tracks going to that door or to the door to the north?
The tracks are leading to this door. And for the sake of expediency, the elf could tell you that he did indeed see a large, shambling creature of rotten vegetation move through this room.
Shall we go through this door?
Say, let's do it.
All right. Ambrosius, if you tell him not to forget about the door, he will certainly follow you.
Come, brother.
Yes, yes. We can. We have time to tend to this feeling later. We must move forward. Play this feast.
You open the door, another hallway, and muddy tracks lead straight up the hall and to this door on the right. There's a wooden door there.
Well, maybe we stack up on the door. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Ready ourselves. What's behind it? I'm assuming that we are in the same marching order as before.
All right. Who wishes to open the door?
I'll open the door.
You open the door, and it leads you into a large hall. There are large windows that let in beams of light on long, collapsed tables and scattered chairs. You see the wooden floorboards in places have been dug up and heaped up by the walls, and they reveal there's a pit of packed earth on the northern side of the room. And inside are stone sarcophagi, lids underneath. The air is kind of thick with the scent of old wood, musty earth, and the unexpected aroma of honey and fermented fruit wafts through the chamber. As you take a moment, you're taking in the sights. Suddenly, appearing by the dozens, are a menagerie of frolicking, translucent figures that cavort about the room with tankards in hand, spectral tankards. They raise toasts to one another. They're singing bawdy songs. And the trail of mud cuts straight through this room to a set of doors on the opposite side.
Are the figures human, elf?
They
Can we
are
tell?
human.
And they pay us no attention.
Not currently. They're singing songs of defeating the Cold Prince and of the victories on the battlefield, having conquered and sent the Cold Prince back from whence he came.
I protectively put my arm across Ravos' chest and kind of like the two of us stand back. I
Alex,
try to, anyways.
the frost elf, is he with us or has he stayed back?
He would have probably just elected to stay back to recuperate,
Yeah.
unless you were strong-arming him to continue with you.
No, I just want to make sure. Okay.
Some of the ghosts, the spirits, they see you. They say, "Come, join us. Today is a glorious day."
We have friends. We have come in contact with many undead. Some are actually, I would say, before we came to this place, the undead have been actually more accommodating than the living here in this land of Dolmenwood. Though I am not sure here. There is a taint in the air that I am not sure of. So I say we tread cautiously the way.
Though the
Yes.
undead maybe sometimes are friendly to you, the audience is not. Thank you, Tux, for the DM reroll.
Oh, thank you, Tux. Ah.
Yes. Let's go through those doors and let's keep following the tracks.
You follow the tracks. The spirits are like, "Come, sing us a song." They're like reaching out. They're trying to have you join them in their revelry, but you continue forward.
Well, I will
lead
play
the way?
one verse with
Oh.
my harp. The song of Tux the Betrayer,
Okay.
the Scepter. who had thrown his comrades to the wolves for his own satisfaction. I'll just play a couple lyrics.
All right. Should this be a skill check? No. Let's hear your pitch.
Yeah.
How did I pitch?
Give us a
Be
few.
like, oh shit. I'll just be like, oh, Tux, the destroyer, the deceptor. He had befriended his family, but he had decided to throw them away. I'm just like rambling and just like not at all rhyming and just like failing miserably.
And they're like,
But I'm telling the story of Tux, the failure.
they're looking at you and they're like, in this Tux, what are his origins? What is he?
He is from the land of the swamp. The swamp creatures with the alligators and the mosquitoes.
Crocodiles.
And no crocodiles. Alligators only.
Alligators.
Half of
He was
us
a
are
swamp
marsh
creature.
people.
But he was a marsh people person who betrayed his family. So great story of this man who is in this group of people, this brotherhood, so to speak, and betrayed them for a simple laugh. That's all.
Why should we trust the words of an elf about one of our own kind?
It's just a story. It's just a song. That's all it is. It's just a fun, epic story. That's all it is.
Because the one true God has blessed this elf. That is why. Yes.
And that.
When you bring up like the one true God, they all like look maybe a little embarrassed by themselves and they say, oh, well, okay. In that case, down with Tux, the swamp betrayer man who
Yes.
left his family out to dry. Yeah!
Dry in the humid air of the swamp.
They,
For context, I'm also from the swamp. So
the phantoms, they disappear from the chamber, but they're on one of the dilapidated tables. You see that they leave behind a flask.
like a fancy flask, like a vial, or like a
Like a leather skinned thing with a cork in the top, like a wine skin type of thing.
I'll open it up and smell it. What do I smell?
Smells like mead.
Oh.
Ooh.
I hand it to the friar.
Oh.
Smells good, like not spoiled.
Hi. Now I know. It seems like I'm a hypocrite. That I'm touching, but this smells delightful. Yes,
You know your mead, friar. I know
Yes,
from
I
our
do.
past conversations. So
Yes,
you can
yes.
tell me if it's any good.
Oh, it is very good. Is it very good? It smells great.
Smells good. You want to drink it?
If
I
you're
do,
like it
but-
smells good, I'll take a sip out of it.
You
Yes.
drinking it?
Oh yeah. Anytime the DM asks if you do something, you should say yes. I'm doing that.
That is
Okay.
not a good.
Especially
It
if they
is
start to
against
open
my
a book.
character. Your character, yes.
When the DM cracks a book open, that's always when you should say yes. I'm doing
Yeah.
that thing that the DM is talking about.
Okay,
You
and
died.
you are.
Dead.
Hold on. All right, save
Oh,
versus
shit.
death.
Okay.
Oh no!
So you're. Oh my god.
Oh.
Is this
Oh,
a thing
no.
in the fucking? I thought this was something you ad libbed.
I know.
He's in the index. He's just
Just read
making
it.
shit up.
Just read it. Just read it. Just tell us. Is it good or bad? We can't tell.
I'm coming back as Woodgrew, Alex. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be the most obnoxious Woodgrew character.
I have to adjust it a little bit, but you gain a level of experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Awesome.
Okay, so I'll tell you what it is. So basically, it's a
And now you need
potion.
to sing.
It's a potion of heroism. So this is it gives a benefit to normal humans and characters of a combat-focused non-magic using class.
Mm-hmm.
But like, so if you had been like a human, you would have gained 3
Right.
levels. But I'll give you a benefit and say you gain a level
That's good. 1 level is still-
Permanently or temporarily?
permanently.
Oh my god! You know that's
So-
so good for elves.
So you'll just
'cause
advance to level 3. Your base XP will flatline at the starting base there, and you've got level 3.
Give
Awesome.
me a sip of that shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm just
only the one.
feeling it, like
only the
squeezing
one.
it out.
It's just enough for the one, unfortunately. But
My friend, that it seems like you are less drunk now.
Ooh. I feel like I
I'm
might
sorry.
know-
I guess it's a temporary gain, but I'm gonna say this is
Aw.
a special one, and it's a permanent.
Yeah.
It's a permanent level.
Listen,
Yeah.
elves gain levels so slowly. I will not
Yeah.
even remotely. Just
Yeah.
I will accept it.
That's the great thing about this system, right? Is that someone could be a level 3 cleric, but a level 3 elf, it's like a level 5 cleric. Like the power levels kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, my spells are so random. I always roll them randomly. So I have like these weird spells. So it'll be fun. See what happens. I will not enact any of this until next game if I survive.
Well, then you might need it now.
I mean, if
Might, so you should
don't
just
know.
it's instantaneous.
if you want to use
All
the
right, I'll
hit
put the hit
points.
points on. How about that? I'll put the hit points on.
Yeah, good point.
and the
Yes.
saves and
This-
let's look at your
Save.
table.
Just-
It'll be okay.
It's a boon from the Ballad of Tux the Betrayer.
Thank you, Tux.
Thank you,
Betrayer.
Tax. You did it.
All right. So what happens is I get an extra D6 of hit points. I'll put that in.
And it could
While
be
that's happening,
that you need it.
I'll look back to the newbies and be like, okay,
Sometimes you
never
gotta touch
happens.
shit.
this
Yeah.
never happens.
Nice.
Nice.
Roll the
Hell
5.
yeah. That's good.
You have a
So you had it.
con mod of any kind?
I have a 14 cons. I think it's a plus
It's a
one.
plus 1.
maybe?
Yeah. So 6 new
6?
hit points. Shiny new hit points.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had 12.
Oh man. You're at 18?
Oh shoot, you were hurt. How many hit points do you have currently?
I've got 9 right now. So I'll add 6 to the max.
So feeling
cool.
the benefit of that, you move forward, following the muddy tracks. Double doors at the other end. Who's opening those?
I'll open.
Geoffrey, you open the doors. They lead outside. And it is still a wet, miserable day outside. But these doors lead out into
Come here.
a garden. Kind of like the other courts that you've been in, just heavy weeds here and there that have grown unruly. These weeds are like easily 8 feet tall. But on the northern end here, the most prominent thing that you can see is there is a chapel that is in relatively good condition. Wooden door leading in. And out here, like the interior garden is all mud and turned up earth. And so like the trail doesn't lead you to any particular point naturally. Sorry, I gotta find my page. It smells. There's this like kind of decaying smell that hangs over the garden. And I would say there are stained glass windows on the second level of the chapel. there seems to be like a sickly green light that is glowing from those windows. They're stained glass, so you can't see into them, but there's definitely a radiance from within that second level, that attic up there, that is casting a light into the garden.
Are we seeing the wood, like the mud tracks or any of that stuff?
It's all muddy out here. So you could probably see from where you're standing looking into the garden, like it seems like the trail kind of meanders through the garden, but you can't. You could try to follow it.
Do we need to see any more like writhing lampreys or any fish or any other kind of like watery creatures?
If you're digging around in the earth a bit, like you'll find them kind of randomly.
Randomly, okay.
Some of them are dead or flattened.
Yeah. Okay. While I do feel more heroic than usual, I am nervous about this area. Quite large. There's a lot of mud, a lot of strange creatures. We should be on our most careful behavior.
Yes.
Shall we enter this chapel?
Yes.
No.
No.
What if the creature went in there?
Here, I'll do this. I'm gonna push the door open with my big Final Fantasy sword. Kind of push the door open.
The chapel door?
Outline. Yeah. I'm not going in. I'm just like kind of trying to nudge the door open. If it'll open.
Yes, it will. So you move through the garden here and get to the chapel.
Yeah.
Let me just look. Okay. Yep, that's what you see. You go up to the door, you open it. And on the inside here, you see shields that cover the walls. All of them are antiquated design, and they all have an old design of House Brackenwold from the days when it was a kingdom, not just a duchy.
But they're all the same, right?
They're all the same. There are frescoes that depict a procession of maidens throwing flowers onto a dirt path, and behind them a white horse ridden by a noble, which is flanked by a retinue of knights. The tabard worn by the knights and the noble is that of a rose shaped like a pentagram, accentuated by a starburst.
Fascinating. Do we see any mud?
You do not see mud leading into the chapel. There's an altar with a white cloth upon it at the far end, and a font next to the entrance. Just as you open up the doors, you can see it's fed by the head of a copper lamb that's filling the basin with water. The lamb has gemstone eyes.
Every fiber of my being as a player is like, go in there and start doing stuff. But I know does not seem to align towards our goal, right?
Maybe the eyes.
Go in there and touch the eyes. Come on, do it.
Does it look like it came in here?
It does not.
No.
It's very actually well kept inside the chapel. There's no muddied tracks.
Yeah. So while I really want to go in there, I'm gonna say we should move on.
All right. What would the rest of you like to be doing?
I say we go around this corner to the side of the chapel. See what's
All
over
right.
here.
Like around this side?
Yeah. I want to see what's above this.
Yes. 1 second.
Don't look at the Twitch.
I just did.
I did too on accident.
I want to bring you an image.
Oh no!
I guess I have to introduce the thing now.
All right.
But no,
Drop
we'll
it on
say
us, Alex.
Oh my gosh, it's it. It's it.
What do you all see out there?
You move around to the side over here, and over beyond the weeds, you'll sort of be able to tell there's a statue that seems to look out. It's like on a, would you call it? A promontory or a outlook on the opposite side there. Can't really get like a good sense of what it is through the vegetation.
Should keep moving around, huh?
Yeah.
Moving
What'd you see,
around the
guys?
weeds.
Yeah.
We're gonna mark another turn here. You get over and you can see there is a statue here of a woman, an elven woman. All of her fingers have been broken off.
Does she look frost elf or regular, or is there any way to tell?
Frost elf make. Yeah, this is a part of like the original castle.
And not Princess Snowflake or whatever her name was.
No, unrecognizable
Did you
too.
call her Princess Snowflake?
I did. I think that was maybe her name though.
We might have called her that for the time being when we didn't know her name.
Snowfall in the morning or something like that.
Snowfall. That's much better.
So there's like a low standing wall, I guess, that kind of surrounds here to keep people from, falling over, I guess, or whatever, just, part of the decor. And you can see that part of that butts up against a little gate right here, silver gate, that leads to a staircase that leads down.
And do we see any more of those mud tracks or the trail?
You've kind of
I would nudge.
You kind of lost the
nudge.
trail at this point because the whole yard has been probably turned up by these things. So like, there's not a distinctive trail anymore. It's all
I would
muddy.
nudge Lillibeth because I think it's that makes sense to me as a elf, but like Lillibeth is a hunter. Like Lillibeth.
Yes.
Like this field is just overturned with these creatures in the mud. Clearly, this is where it's at, but the directionality is lost on me, and I'm sure the rest of us. Can you perceive any subtle hints, any direction, anything fresh?
Well, freshness. Freshness is something I might be able to discern. This mud is churned, but yes, would be a distinct difference between mud that's been recently remoistened and maybe some evidence of slightly greater animal activity. I could try. Not sure how much more it would help, but I'm willing to try.
Well, putting it in your hands, your capable hands.
All right.
So this is tracking?
Yes. So do your tracking roll. I'll say you get a plus 15% because of the muddy conditions.
Okay.
Fancy.
So plus 15% is 75%.
Are you rolling a D100?
No, I'm rolling a percent die.
Got it.
So is that, I don't have your sheet. Is that a success?
My actual, hang on just a second.
What level hunter are you?
I'm a level 2, so it would be, it was not a success.
Not a success. Okay.
Well, hold on. Your tracking is 60% at level 2, right?
Right. But adding that plus means that I failed, right?
Well, I think
No,
it's a
bonus.
subtraction.
It's a bonus. Okay, in that
Yeah.
case, then yes, I passed.
So you just barely passed, it sounds like?
Yep.
Okay. So the tracks of the things that you are so one thing that you know is that there's actually two things, not just a one thing.
Right.
So you didn't know that before.
Cool.
It's scary.
Well, it makes it less big, potentially.
Yeah.
Does it, or was it just two walking one in front of the other?
Yeah. There you
Or
go. Two big
dragging the
things.
other, one dragging the other.
The tracks lead to this patch of weeds here and the other. So the two southern patches.
Lillibeth, you seem conflicted. What should we do?
I seem conflicted.
You do. You're studying the track so studiously.
Well, we
Squinting
have
your eyes and all that.
choice of direction. We can. We're still assuming that it has the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so assuming that it has the eyes, then it's going to be in one of two places, and we can choose which one to look at first and hope that nothing comes from the other place to disturb us. So I don't know which one to start with, though.
Ravos, you are like me. You're from the realm of fairy. Does this not seem like a puzzle to you, like a game? Just two eyes, two places. Should we just go to both?
Yeah.
One has the left eye, one has the right eye, and
Sure. Let's do it.
let's do it.
Hold on. Just
Can
we do
making
one
me
eye at a
connection.
time?
I'm not
Doesn't
touching
mean-
anything. I'm not touching anything.
Okay. Just be careful is what I'm saying. Okay, do what you want. Just be careful.
Listen, I've been drinking this Japanese whiskey, and I'm ready to
That is
die.
why it's never good to drink during a
Getting ready to
Domo session,
die.
because you are gonna die. You are a touch away from death.
I have 12 hit points.
Hey, that's more than me, and I haven't even taken damage.
That's so true. I feel like a beast. Level 3 elf. That is a powerful creature.
All right, what are we doing?
Anyone?
We're going to the left.
Okay, you're going over to this patch over here.
Yeah.
All right, so you get up to the patch, the tall weeds. You can definitely see there's like upturned earth in there. You can see like some of the weeds have been kind of pushed aside a bit and have been trampled, but are still upright. What do you want to do?
I want to start digging in. I want my eye. He's fucking digging shit. I'm looking for an eyeball.
So you're moving into the weeds.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what happens. Basically, the
Lillibeth's
chance
already
of
set the
surprise.
plan. Let's go. I'm expecting a fight. So if I'm surprised, I'm very dumb. But you know what?
Yeah, it's a 1 in 2 chance. So, all right. So, well, one or two on an encounter is a surprise. So that's what it is. So,
Fair enough.
So you wait in there, but I roll a 3, so you're good. And this thing is going to pop up out of the earth, which I will share with you.
Can't wait to see this. Oh my god.
So it is a
I can't see
writhing
it.
mass of vegetation that has these writhing lampreys that are swimming about in its mass. And it's just drenched in moisture
Pretty.
and wet. And sounds like Winston's raring to go, so you'll be our caller. Go ahead and roll at D6.
There we go.
All right. For the party, do you want me to roll on Foundry or a physical D6? What do you
You
want?
need to roll some physical D6. You never get to roll.
All right, here we go. These
Yeah.
dice are cursed, though, just so you know.
Okay, thanks.
I rolled a 1.
All right.
That has been the pattern. So next time you
They
get to
are.
roll.
They're bad. I-
First.
Just
All
so
right.
everyone knows, every time we have Winston be the caller, he always rolls lower than Alex. Alex, can you
It's
roll
mental.
one?
It's mental. His hands actually flip it, even though it's going to be a 6.
Push
So-
hard, Alex.
As
I'm
this
the one in
thing,
the I'm in the muck, so I'm okay. It'll be me that suffers.
so there is a second one from the other patch that is going to move in, and it is going to target
I thought we were okay.
the other elf. There seems to be
Oh no!
a prejudice against the elves. So
Always.
both of these
He hates
guys,
these cans.
they get 2 attacks. So we're gonna do the ones on silver first.
These immortals.
All right,
12 to
what
hit
you got? 12 is a miss.
and a 17 to hit.
That is a hit.
3 points of damage, and then the other set over on Ravos. A nat 20.
Oh,
No.
Fortunately, max damage on this
Yeah.
is just 4 points.
You are so lucky that you have 8. Oh,
Are you alive, Ravos?
I'm alive. Yeah.
And
He
a
is
12
eight.
to hit.
12 misses.
All right. Party's
Good man.
turn. Movement. So right now, the only person that's in melee with the left one is Silver. Well, I guess Ravos
Got it.
would be in melee with the right one.
Joffrey will move over to the monster that is next to Silver.
Okay.
all right. I'm
Hell.
gonna stack up behind Ravos in ranged combat, but I'm gonna be close
Yep.
enough if I need to heal.
Oh, I
Got
see.
it.
You're like right. Yeah, over your shoulder. Yeah.
So Silver, Geoffrey. We're gonna put Ambrosius on that same one. All 3 on melee on that one. Ravos is in melee with the right one. Friar's at ranged. How about Lillibeth?
I'm at range.
At range. Okay. So ranged attacks. Let's start with Lillibeth.
Okay, here we go. And I want to at least try the silver arrow because there's nothing about this thing that looks normal.
Yes.
Okay.
So
And I believe we
that's
are.
a +1 arrow. Is it a? Yeah, it's a +1 arrow,
Yep.
right?
+1 arrow. Yep.
Alex, are we still within an hour of when I casted that?
Yes. So
+1 to attack for melee. It says, and
Yeah.
+1.
I think you got 1 turn left, so it's still in effect.
Okay.
Okay. No. Unless it is hit by a 5.
5 doesn't hit. Friar.
All right, I'm going the one that's in front of Ravos, a 15 to hit.
That hits.
4 points of damage. As I'm, don't worry, I've got your back, friend.
All right. We will switch now to melee. So I think we'll start with our elves. Let's start with Silver.
All right. It's got the +1 added from the bless. That would be a
nice.
very high number. Sorry, I'm seeing some. It's going slow for me, but it's going to be a 4 on the damage, or 5. I'm sorry,
5.
6 on the damage.
6 on the damage. All right.
Mhm.
It is still up. Let's go to Ravos.
All right. I got a 18 to hit.
That hits. Some good rolls.
And
Good damage.
and
good damage.
and an 8 damage.
8 damage. Holy shit. All right. It's
Yes!
still up, but that was a palpable blow. Let's go over to Adrian. Geoffrey.
All right, so Joffrey's going to take a whack at this thing. And
close.
miss.
So close.
Remember the +1.
We have a player reroll, I think, right?
There's a player reroll. Would you like to use it?
Use it.
You're a
Okay.
damage dealer. You got to
It's
use it.
11:30 at night. Let's go. Come on.
Hey,
Yeah, where you're at, I'm at 12:30.
All right, I
That's
got
right,
it.
you're
Everyone
right,
wants to go
30.
to bed. We'll get it resolved. It's good.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh, was it a
How
nat
do you
he was
one?
at 19.
Yeah.
All right, that one misses. Ambrosius hits. He ends up he gets +1 damage, so he deals 7 points of damage, and that's enough to take this one down.
Oh.
As he strikes it, he hits
Is
it, and just like all the moisture gets released from all of the vegetation. The lampreys go slithering away, try to dig themselves into the mud.
Does an eyeball fall out of it?
You might have to go fishing for it after, but
All right.
you got it. There's a thing there. All right. So who's left? I think everybody went, right?
We all went.
Everybody went.
So
Oh no.
initiative.
All right.
Come on, you can do it.
So does
I got it,
the
I got it.
clock Still on?
You got it.
Yes.
I rolled a 1.
Okay.
Yeah, because a round is like several rounds, several turns of combat. So, all right, here we go. Here we
Beat a
go.
one.
Here we go.
Just beat a 1.
My physical dice,
Just beat a 1.
5.
Oh.
All right. So you guys are up first. Go for the
Hell
ranged.
yeah.
Yes.
We're all gonna move in on top of the last creature,
Yeah.
by the way.
Start with
Okay.
Lillibeth.
Starting with me. Come on, ranged. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
How do you wish
Oh,
to end
that's
it?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I want to have that arrow go straight down the throat of one of the lampreys and just have everything just sort of dissolve.
And that is what happens. And for the sake of expediency, you'll be able to go in and fish out the 2 rock hard black onyx gemstones that serve as the eyes of the blind beast.
Yay.
Did each one have one?
Each one had 1.
I feel validated. That's all.
I'm just sleepy and you thought that through way better than I did.
Ah.
Who's got the questions for this?
Oh.
So we had several
Ah,
questions.
we had questions all teed up.
So I think we should collect because we got several characters. So like I had a question about, are there any relics in the castle we should know about that are still active, like this sword or any other items? Lillibeth had a question about origins of the creature
In the lake.
in the lake. Chalk or whatever.
Big chook.
Big
Big
chook.
chook
All right.
and little chook.
So,
So any other questions anyone else has? Because we have 3.
You had
Isaac,
2
you should
though.
have a question, right?
Do I have a
The
question?
main-
No.
Any one of you, yeah. Come on.
No. The one true God has answered all my questions. I do not.
Oh my gosh.
It would be all
Give it
you.
up, bro.
I mean,
All right.
I would ask for one of the artifacts that we're
Yeah.
looking for.
Do you know the,
Oh.
the realm? Yeah.
All of
Good.
the artifacts you probably.
All of the artifacts, yeah, okay.
I think
So
that's fair.
Netlord,
the-
artifacts, and this.
yeah,
we
we
have
need
to
to know
get there
about the.
first. We have to
And
get
it was
there
like
first.
we know what the artifacts are, right? Like it's a reliquary. It's a
Scepter and crown.
yeah. So we know. Like you could just ask the location of those 3 artifacts. That's one question.
all right.
Okay.
So let's do, well, for the sake of expediency, you collect your eyes. You're going back to the blind beast.
Mhm.
Mhm.
One of the questions he wanted to ask was about powerful artifacts from the era of the Cold Prince.
Yes.
So he'll tell you that the Malevols sold off many of the items that remained in the castle after the time of the Cold Prince. So there's a lot of antiquities that are out there, lost, scattered throughout the world, but there is one item, and it is basically confirming what the Frost Elf told you, is that Rhyme Blade does exist inside the castle. And he would tell you that it was an item that was retained by Hubert Malevol the Huntsman and stored within his quarters in the south wing. and he'll describe to you near the library that you're quite familiar with.
Huntsman. That's the one that cursed the beast, right?
The elf.
The elf. No, there's one that cursed the elf. Yeah, the one that put the elf in the container. Yeah.
Mhm.
You just call him the crispy elf?
The crispy elf. That's not what I said, but now I'm saying that.
You wish to ask a question about the origin of the creature in the lake.
Yeah.
Yes.
The blind beast will probably smile at you and ask you which one.
Christ
Mhm.
in heaven. I mean, the one true God in heaven.
Very good.
Ah,
My friend.
well,
The one that is currently actively screeching and creating psychic damage for all the dock
great.
workers.
The one they call Big Chew.
The one they call Big or Little Chook.
And
The
then
one
he
that a friend had to. Yes.
he would tell you he doesn't know of a creature called Big Chook. The
Shit.
thing that he knows about in the lake is the wood god named Gelok, a dragon-like aspect that regulates, or used to regulate, magic throughout the Dolmen Wood. And Lake Longmere is like the central lake, and it has a lot of tributaries and streams that cast out throughout the wood, and that used to be the life stream of magic throughout Dolmen Wood.
So, oh shit! I have a follow-up question when that counts the third question, so I'm gonna hold it.
So he'll tell you that the origins of that creature is that it is a wood god, the kind of thing that witches worship and derive their magic from. So Gelok, his power is so great that when the Frost Prince was here, the lake didn't freeze over because Gelok is a much powerful being than the Frost Prince, the Cold Prince.
Oh, that's fantastic to know.
But he has another piece of information about that creature, and that is that the Droon, and all sorts of things like sorcerers, the witches, and of course the Droon were very attracted to the Dolmen Wood because of the power of this place. But the Droon weren't interested in just tapping into its power. They wanted to control it, and they wanted to harness it. And they managed to bind the wood god, and that's where their power comes from.
So I have a follow-up question that does not count as one of our questions. Feel free to not answer.
You could discuss it with the party.
Well, my question is, and do we understand Blind Beast does not count as one of the three questions? This is me and you talking, right? You can say nothing to this end. This does not count. My question.
You're talking to me,
is,
Alex. Is that what you're saying?
No, what he's
You're
saying
the
is
Blind Beast, Alex.
he's saying that he wants to discuss further questions.
You know what? Ask the third fucking question, then I have a follow-up question after that. So let's get the third question first.
The third question: the location of the 3 artifacts:
Yes.
scepter, crown, reliquary.
Okay. He it confirms that they're all still in the castle. He could tell you all of the locations, but he would tell, like, the reliquary, he would say was in the hands of the huntsman.
Okay.
You have like a double reason to go with the huntsman, but So, my follow-up question, and just two guys chatting, like a blind beast and a 117-year-old elf, just having a chat. Okay. The Droon.
Yes, now.
The Droon were trying to control the beast in the lake, right? The wood god. I thought Droon were very like pro like nature and like all that kind of stuff. I didn't get the impression they were like trying to manipulate it. Are they just a bunch of manipulative assholes? Are they just
Yeah.
trying to like?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yes, my friend.
That's good to know. It's good to know. I'm an outsider. I don't know this world.
If,
So
But-
my friend, if you remember correctly,
I thought they were trying to preserve nature and
this
preserve the world.
well,
You know?
understand that the witches, this creature is to protect against the Nag Lord itself.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like siding with an evil to oppose a greater evil. But then when the greater evil is resolved, then the other evil becomes more evil, you know?
that makes sense of everything we've experienced since we've been here in terms of our interactions with the Droon. They haven't been exactly helpful.
Yeah. I mean, look, as an elf, me and Ravos, we know this whole Chell ring nonsense is it's not nice. I feel like throwing up all day long, and it's not because of the drunk thing.
Well, to be fair, maybe I don't know whether it's fair or not. The Cold Prince basically froze the dolmen wood, so if you had to keep them out to keep.
Hold on. Keep them out. Like the Cold Prince was bad, but who's this them that you're trying to
You're
keep out?
you're right.
So
A long-lived elf, but yes.
So, for the sake of expediency here, you've got a lot that the group can talk about later when you're
At the campfire.
at a time that
tossing
it's
things
better
at
and
each
you got
other.
everybody else together to talk about.
It's not midnight.
Or I got 11 minutes. Give me 11 more minutes and I'm going to tie it up, all right? So, Geoffrey, I think it's fair to say that you and your brother now know the locations of these items, right? So, his inkling about that door was correct. You're going to probably break away from the group and start to hunt down those things. You're going to find the reliquary. So you're going to have one of the items. So I don't know. I have no idea. I can't predict the future, but maybe we'll return back here at some point. Maybe there'll be further adventure where you can wrap up and discover the other things. I'll give you more detailed, description of where they might be. The rest of you have some wine to collect. And when you reach the southern wing of the castle, the main entranceway where you fought a ghostly butler once upon a time, it's pretty quiet. The wagon's outside, stacked with barrels. Some work had been done here in the past hour. But none of your dock workers are there.
Is there any signs? Are they like? Has there been a struggle?
Not that you can see from the outside, but there's evidence that they've been working. There are a couple of casks. There's like 2 casks in the wagon.
And is it like mid work? Like there's like ropes on the ground and like that kind of shit, or is it like is it? My question is it feel like there's like the rapture and everyone disappeared?
So
They were attacked, or just no work was being done.
So find the block and tackle and all of that. You have to enter into the castle and go to the staircase.
Yeah.
So you go inside together. It's still there. And down in the cellars, it is quiet.
So they were mid work. They didn't like pack their shit up and leave. Like they either disappeared or they were like poofed.
Well, they could have left the block and tackle, and it could be quiet, and they could have left us 2 barrels, but they could have absconded with the rest.
Only thing
Which
that would
wouldn't be
explain that to
absconding
me.
because we're taking it.
My understanding of you mortal types is that you're very driven by your outcomes, by your money. The only reason they would leave is if they thought there was something more important to them than getting paid, which I can only imagine is their lives.
Their lives, yes.
My question for you is, are you going to go into the cellar?
The question, when the DM asks you, are you going to do something? Your answer should be no. But my answer is yes. Always. I'm going to open the cellar door. What's in there?
All right. So you go down, and as you get down into the cellar, it is just littered with the ripped open bodies of all of the dock workers.
Oh, God.
Each of them have had their throats like ripped out. And there's
vampire style?
Vampire style. There's one cask that's sitting in the center of this huge hall. And there's a glass of wine that is filled to the top, sitting on top of it.
I walk over to it. I smell the wine.
It's heavy iron sanguine scent.
I offer to Ravos.
And carved into the side of the cask says, an ounce of blood for every ounce that you took from us.
I'm not. You know, that's a little bullshit, because we fucking had a deal with that fucking vampire.
The vampire.
What was our deal? I forgot.
You're supposed to find the key.
It was the key.
And we did not find the key because we didn't go back to Samuel. Well, where was his body?
We never found him.
You never found him. Samuel
Samuel's
maybe
alive.
is still out there somewhere.
Just how we ended up in the library. That's right.
I'm gonna pull Lillibeth and the good friar Fitzpatrick, and say, listen, I Geoffrey and Ravos and all the other people here, they live here. This is their lives. We're gonna go. We're gonna leave. Do we leave them like this? Or do we try to solve this problem for them? Because if they say every ounce of what we stole is blood, that town, all those dock workers are forfeit. So if we don't make this right, that's what happens. Do we make this right?
We need to check the town. And absolutely.
Maybe it's too late.
You'll return back to the town. Things will be business as usual, other than people are wondering about why you're so few in number, and want answers as to where those people went. If you share the story, it'll just reinforce the legends about, or the myth, the whole mystique of that castle. That's why we don't go there. That's why we don't mess with those Malevols. And just reinforce the threat, the danger of that thing that looms over their community there on the edge of the lake. So, I think that is going to be the conclusion of this. The Dolmenwood group, when they come back together, they've got blood
tragic.
wine.
It's so tragic. It's always so
Awful. Well,
It's
it's not
always
as
bad.
awful.
Have we ever played a game of Dolmenwood when something good happens?
Yes, we've had lots of good things happen and funny things happen.
But
That's true.
mostly tragic. It's mostly tragic.
Remember the wizard who was in the
That's what makes
bathtub
it
like that?
so good.
That was tragic. That was tragic.
I still have nightmares about that.
Yeah, I know. Oh, everyone was talking about the scars on their face. Yeah, the friar does have a scar on their face from
Mm-hmm.
the wizard's skin that
Mm-hmm.
wrapped around his body and tried to suffocate him.
And Ravos, did you get how close did you come to death, Ravos?
I didn't get
Oh, I only took 3 points of damage.
Ah, my friend.
Only. How many hit points you got?
8.
8.
Oh, you're a healthy lad. You're good.
My
Yeah, that's
friend,
what happens when you live in your parents' basement. You just
That's
sit
true.
there.
You eating those
just
chicken
eat their,
nuggies
you
and
just eat their chicken nuggets and chalky
Yeah.
milk.
chalky milk. Just building up your fortitude. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I rolled amazing for stats, everything.
Yeah, you got some good strength too. I noticed that. That was good.
Yeah, I don't have a single one. I think below 12. I think 12 is my lowest stat.
And
yeah,
and that's good for elf because elf is like you kind of need a lot of good stats to be a good elf.
Yeah.
So you chose
Yeah.
wisely.
Alex, could I ask those that accompanied us and are still alive, could I at least put out there that if we ever needed them again, that we could try to call them to action?
Yes, I think that could be possible. At least in the immediate term when you're still in this vicinity and um
Give him a penalty for that because everyone died.
No, no.
I think he's talking about like Belay and Geoffrey
everyone.
and
Yeah.
so
Sure, fair enough. Fair
yeah,
enough.
we'll
And I-
probably have opportunities for people to jump into a game again in the future.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like as a party we paid them to help us get out barrels and we thought it was safe and we just left them to go do something else to get answers to questions.
And then we aggroed a vampire who then drank their blood.
Yeah.
Listen, we can say what we want to say, but like at the end of the day, it like the wives and the daughters and the sons of these people are going to be pretty upset.
It's the
Well, they
woodcutters
need-
all over
they-
again.
It
The
is.
woodcutters
They
all over
need-
again.
they
We're
need-
gonna have to pay
restitution.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we'll gladly pay. But like, listen, imagine you're a dock worker's wife. You know, you might be like, just like whatever, I want to survive, or you might have actually loved that poor dock worker who's now been consumed by a vampire.
I would
And
hate
that's
you
what I'm
for a
saying.
long time.
That's why I'm saying that tragedy follows us wherever we go.
Mm-hmm.
It is such tragic.
It is,
It is. It's so sad.
and nothing can be done. We can't like reverse it. You know,
Mhm.
it happened. You know, we should have found that goddamn key.
We tried to find the key. One of us
Yeah.
literally died to find the key.
And Kelsey or whatever her name is.
Kezzy. Yes.
Kelsey, I should know her name. It reminds me when Cliff didn't know our characters' names after we died.
Oh, in the Dark Tower. Yeah, that was good.
Oh,
My favorite moment anything ever did.
Oh man.
Ever.
That
He
was so
didn't
good.
remember the names?
No,
Yeah, we
had
played
this.
2 sessions. In session
the
1, he was the only survivor.
Yeah.
In session 2, he gets more characters, and we're like,
So we all
we're like
ask
at
him,
camp.
like-
What were their
Yeah.
names?
We're like, oh, I was playing like an Adam Sandler like garbage character, and this time I was playing a Pauly Shore garbage character, and I asked him, I was like, what were your heroes' names? Do you feel like you were super like? It seems like you were changed by this. What were their names? And he was like,
Oh,
I remember
that's a
one name.
classic Cliff. That's a classic.
oh, that's so good.
Anyways,
Awesome.
Well, I think we'll leave it there. We can keep chatting, of course,
Yes.
as we go offline here. But that's a
Right.
pitch for anybody who wants to come hang out with us. Come join our Discord server. Sometimes we're there hanging out after the game and talking the war stories like you're hearing right now. So come join us there. We'll throw a raid out. I saw Mr. Mikey Unlikely was here earlier, so we'll go say hi to him. So have a good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. 3 games this next week. We got one Monday, Planescape Turn of Fortune's Wheel. We'll be wrapping up. Thursday, we're gonna have game Nick is in the Vecna Eve of
Can't
Ruin.
wait for that. That'll be good.
Yeah, there's a lot of donation stuff from the fundraiser that needs to
Can't
get
wait for
resolved,
what
so that should
number
be fun.
4 is.
Whatever, wondering what encounter number 4 is, and then Saturday night we'll wrap up Symbaroum, so that'll be at 8 p.m. on Saturday. So thanks everyone.
Oh yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.